So if there are, say, 60,000 registered voters, and I can go door to door and get information of 39,000 voters that I know on election day will vote for me. Now, hear this, so there's two dimensions to this. And I'm not saying this is what my friend is doing, I'm just using an example. Because again, politics, we have to take very seriously, friend or no friend. Now, I simply understand that 39,000 people are in my column. Whether they come out to vote on election day or not, I will sort that one out later. The remaining 21,000, who are they? Can I find them? Do they have their PVCs in hand? That's where I now equally go into my own due diligence of seeing if they have the PVC in hand. It's one thing to be registered to vote. It's another thing to have your PVC to be able to vote. If I now find out that, okay, maybe 10,000 PVC cards are with INEC, it already tells me of 21,000, only 11,000 have PVC. So I can say 10,000 votes I don't have to worry about because they will not vote on election day. Now, there's the third wheel. Somebody else can say, I want those 10,000 PVCs that are laying in the corner. How do I get the INEC guy to sneak it out, give it to me? So perhaps we need to equally see that in INEC offices across the country, the day before elections, we are putting our feet on INEC's throats with disclosing how many PVCs are in their possession and evidence to show that the PVCs will not be extracted, handed over to a political party to vote. Now, even after the election, we need to get the results of PVCs that were accredited and run an audit against PVCs that were not collected. So every citizen of Nigeria is going to become a stakeholder in the coming election process post-elections, because that's where we will go to court individually. These political parties cannot afford it. You cannot do it with every single court across the country. But now let me come back to the names being collected. So if I have 39,000 people that are sure voters, on election day, I say, okay, I want to do cash for votes. I will say 39,000 times 5,000. Do your math. It comes up to about what? 195 million, they're about 19.5. My math sucks this morning. I don't care. So I already say, okay, I need Ghana must go to spread to different wards, to different PUs, to different agents. The agents have names. Now, if you remember in Osun, I equally posted a lady that was caught by the EFCC, and this was not because it was stroke of luck. It was just because many people knew exactly what to do to peg these APC efforts with rigging the elections. So they will send out agents with those names on election day. They will come to the polling units, Abayomi Samson, Jonah Idowu. Once you identify yourself, they have your PVC, they hand you your 5,000 naira, go and vote, and then she's been handed off maybe perhaps 5 million to pay, for example, 10,000 voters or 1,000 voters, 5,000 each. And that way you start seeing how systemic rigging by purchasing of votes is being calculated way in advance of elections. On the other hand, this is where it gets very interesting. Those 11,000 voters that they could not account for because they don't have their names, they don't have their list, let me tell you what they will now do. There's a variation of voter suppression that will kick in. So you get to the polling on election day, they had not vetted you before election day, and by the time it comes to accreditation, that's your name, that's your PVC. They will make sure they frustrate you with letting you know that the PVC could not validate you, so therefore you are not accredited, therefore you cannot vote. So that's how they will systemically remove people from the voting process. So these are all things you can go to court, you can shout, you can run, helter-skelter, but come down to the wire, we got more votes than whatever party you are shouting for, end of story. Then, this is where it gets really, really interesting. In Ile-Ife, we saw this with the Ademola versus Oyetola elections. In my constituency, Ile-Ife, this is where these people are very, very sophisticated. Equally, this identification of voters, when they take their information, they know them first name, last name. Let me tell you what they do. They are very brilliant. In Ile-Ife, what did they do? When there was the runoff election to determine the winner after the initial elections, in neighborhoods where they knew they needed the votes to yield more results than Adeleke, what did they do? Those voters that they had their names, they simply went to each of them or communicated with them the night before the election. As you're coming out from your house, so in Ife, in certain neighborhoods, make sure you have a handkerchief, white handkerchief. So as you're going past security checkpoints, they allow you to pass through. Are you seeing the madness? So if you have 5,000 people that are coming out to vote and they've identified 2,500 as their own voters, they have the handkerchief security agents who are, again, you will believe doing their work. We'll see people coming, they let them to, they see another group, they stop them, they say, go back. You can't pass. Brother, these people are very smart, they are intelligent. They will use everything within the ambit of the law to frustrate opposition. We see that, yes, so you have your PVC, but on election day, there'll be so much wuru-wuru that is legally tolerated that will stifle the votes. We need to emerge victorious. So what does this take? We have to fight on all fronts, fight with the law, fight intelligently, because, again, people are thinking that, oh, it's violence will bring out. It's not violence they are going to use to win the election. It is systemic rigging and voter suppression. That's what they have at their discretion. And I think every voter in Nigeria is to be very, very educated. So on election day, in your neighborhood, that's why we have even been saying, get out the votes, go across neighborhoods, knock on doors. So if there's 300 of you in your neighborhood, they're not only stifling 2 people or 3 people, they'll be trying to stifle 300 people or suppressing 300 people from voting. You cannot suppress 300 human beings. And I said that's early upfront identification, because the same way they're going door to door knocking, finding themselves, we need to find ourselves. So this election is going to be a lot of work. It's not lazy man's politics. Because let me tell you, they want to retain power. They will do any difficult work just to see that they emerge victorious. There's a lot I can talk about here, but I didn't want to go into security agents because that's a whole different dimension. You know, what they use the DSS to do, what is the Navy to do, what is the police to do. Each politician in different communities has a different security outfit that he controls. And on election day, politicians in Nigeria do a lot of madness. I mean, somebody to do a movie on it, write a book. That movie that they did the other day, King of, well, that's child's play. They never show what happens on election day. Let me tell you, so bad that me and Saddam can decide that we wake up in our houses and have Twitter space to educate people to go out to vote. They'll come to the front of my house, they'll pack a jammer. They will jam my cell phone network. Akin will not be able to make a phone call. That's how nasty these human beings are when it comes to politics in Nigeria. This is not hearsay. Koro, oju, koroju. I have seen it broad daylight. So again, I beg you, please educate yourself. Politics is not, oh, let me just wake up, just my PVC, go and vote. Yes, it's that, but months, days, weeks before the elections, any work you see them doing, you equally should be doing the same work, because that is the only way you can compete. I'll rest here for now.
Omar, are you there? All right, let's move on real quick. I think
Omar is not here.
Yes, I'm here. I'm actually here, my brothers. I was just listening to Akin speaking, and he has this way of inspiring us that honestly, it actually deals with the real issues. So yeah, that was why I just kept quiet for a while. Saddam, please go ahead.
No, I was calling up the next speakers. Let's just take, because we have people requesting. My DM is a mess. Guys, I'll bring all of you up, please.
I don't envy you, Saddam. Let's go with Magnific Dude. Mag. Are you there, Mag?
Call him Big Mag. He'll answer you.
Yeah, Big Mag. Are you there?
Omar, so sorry. I stepped away from my phone. Sorry, man. All protocol duly observed, guys.
Mag, this one have para space. This one, we're not soliciting for money. We're soliciting for madness. So I need your premium energy. I'm sorry, I have to let you.
I've been shouting INEC. I've been shouting INEC. I've been shouting INEC. Guys, we just have to go hard on INEC. That's the honest truth. We have to go hard on INEC. Look, Nello explained how this thing would work without you being there. But guys, she didn't say this aspect of it as well. Don't you guys think this so-called APC guys, they have their own BVN machine? And the BVN machine can be swapped that day. They can bring and replace it with their own.
God bless you, bro. I've been thinking so hard about this. How much does a Beavers machine cost? You know what? Go ahead with your submission. Let me try and see how much it costs. Go ahead.
So look, calibrating the machine is one thing. What is the window between you getting accredited and you voting? What is the window between that time? Anything can happen. Don't leave it to chance at all. Because these guys, they are all out to make sure they win. I mean, there is a scenario where you can vote without your PVC. They would have you wait, and that is already a given. They know the number of people that they are putting out there to wait and go and vote without PVC. Look, systematically, they've rigged this thing and they believe they have it. 200 in a polling unit. Omar, I explained it to you. This was told to me by a top official of that party. Honestly, I've been saying this. Your polling unit has 150 people. You get 47 people that can't register, that the BVN does not recognize their PVCs. They stay aside. They will go through the manual process. They will allow them. That 47 is already theirs. So out of the other, 90 something people, about 7 or 8 other political parties are fighting for them. 47 already for them. They fight with you and 6 other political parties for 90 something votes. All they need is get 30 of those 90 something votes. The result comes out. They win by maybe 8, 10, or 6, but they won that polling booth. So replicate that in about 500 polling booths. What does that tell you? The BVN is not working. The BVN is useless. Now INEC will come out and say, oh, now because a lot of you guys could not get your PVC, we were not able to process it on time, and blah, blah, blah. You can go to your polling booth and go and vote. The BVN will identify you. Really? Then everybody will be happy. Yay! That's another way of rigging it. INEC has been compromised like since 2019.
Please, Mark, please, I have to come in here briefly, please. I just want to Peter Obi is making a statement. So I just want to probably a few minutes on Peter Obi, then we'll come back to the issues, guys, please.
Then coming governor, when I was coming here, I was telling Governor Wike that I can imagine what will be happening going into your head. How am I going to compete? What am I going to do next? But like I always say, there's always room for improvement. Just continue from where you stopped. We are here, Your Excellency. Let me first thank you and the good people of Rivers State for the honor of inviting us. I'm here with the Vice Presidential candidate of Labour. We thank you most sincerely for allowing us accommodation. You do not need to invite us, but you invited us. I thank you. And I'm especially honored for coming here for the second time for commissioning. I'm sincerely grateful. Nobody in this country can doubt your performance. Anybody who does so does not admit what is good. You've worked for your people. You've worked for Nigeria. And you've done everything that anybody could achieve. Most importantly, you have remained consistently consistent in positions you've taken. That is the most important thing. What is lacking, Your Excellency, in our country today is character, competence, and capacity. In all this, you've shown it as a state government. And I'm sure it will continue in the incoming government. I'm not saying, like I said freely, I join you when you say whoever is going to come after you will face a daunting task of improving from where you stopped. Excellency, I assure you, I will not be talking for a long time. One thing you said that is everybody should listen to. All of us were 18 presidential candidates. All of us will be saying the same thing. Nobody will say anything different. We promise heaven. We promise everything. What is important is that among these 18, who can we trust that what he's saying he will do? Who can we say that whatever he says, we can go home, you see where somebody promised something and is delivering it? That is what is happening in Nigeria. Your commissioner came out, spoke about the importance of infrastructure. It is critical. I will come to River State to campaign, and I will tell them, but what I tell people is that if I have opportunity of serving this country, the people of River State, the people of Niger Delta will remain grateful to me because I will change Niger Delta. Then oil. This oil you will get from Niger Delta and River State, people will see it. What you're doing in Port Harcourt here is to bring back the fame of this city. You're trying to bring back Port Harcourt for what it used to be. And I thank you for that. If I have the opportunity, like I tell people, we will not serve you from Abuja. We will serve you from your state. We will come here not for visit. We will come here and stay with you, listen to you, and be able to do what the state wants. But we'll come for campaign. Today, we're here to commission the project, and I thank you. I've listened to what you said, that I should advise Labour people that they should be careful about the state. I will talk to them. Me and them will negotiate. I'll say, Oga Sibana, Eyenema. So, Arab State, Arab Line Center. Is it not? If we leave state for them, if we leave federal for us. So, we will negotiate it. You know you're in charge. And we will not quarrel with you. Anybody who quarrels with you doesn't know what he's doing. I will not try it. I'm begging. Please, give us this one. Take all the one. We will come out for you.
A very smart and diplomatic man, yeah.
I swear.
When they come and accommodate them, that one we are sure.
This man is playing politics like never before.
Commitment to do the better Nigeria. Our past will not be our future.
Amen.
Those people are our past.
Yes.
And that is. represent the future of Nigeria.
100.
And I've told Nigerians, hold me responsible. I know what it takes to turn around this country. I will not give excuse.
100.
I will change Nigeria.
Amen.
But when I come for campaign, you hear me. But all I want Nigerians to do, take it on tape, that I said, I know the problem of Nigeria. Nigeria is not productive. Rivers State have the biggest port, the deepest part of the ocean is in Port Harcourt Ocean Terminal. That alone can give Nigeria a reasonable revenue. I said it before, that every part of Nigeria, I'll give a future. I've told you North, the first land is our next oil. Because we cultivate it, Nigeria must feed itself. And I've told the people of the Southwest, you'll be the financial center. The East will be our manufacturing hub. We will route the East to rivers where we will export goods from. So Port Harcourt will remain the export city of this country. We will do it. But we will explain what we are going to do. We believe in here. I thank our people, my fellow traders. We have a governor that is giving us a chance. I will assure you, trading, the reason why Nigeria is not doing well is that Nigeria is not manufacturing and trading. Trading, Nigeria will trade itself out of this. We want to encourage traders, and I assure you, what our government wants to do is that wealth must come with enterprise.
100.
We don't want people who have made wealth without enterprise. The traders must trade, because it's trading that makes a nation. We will trade the goods we are going to manufacture. So we are sure Governor Wike that will continue to work with him, continue the path you're trading, remain consistent. It is not easy when you're saying the truth. It is not easy when you seek the agreement. You have all those who live off the confusion as your enemy. You have all those who believe in lies as your enemy. You have all those who have believed in not keeping promise as your enemy. I had them. You're not what you told me, I know. So I assure you of my commitment. I assure you that I'll continue to come. But above all, I'm begging you, do not remember this agreement today. I'm kneeling down and begging. Take this one. Give me this one. I'll show you, I'll keep faith. The one I'll take, I use it also to ensure that River State becomes greater and better. May God Almighty continue to bless you and the good people of River State and Nigeria. Let us build a better Nigeria. Next year's election, my dear people, will not be based on tribe. I don't want people to vote for me because I'm an Igbo man or because I'm Southeast. It's not going to be by tribe. There's no place people from the north, east, or west buy bread cheaper. It will not be based on tribe. That was yesterday. We will not base it on religion. There's no church that buys bread cheaper or have uninterrupted electricity. I've said it. The Queen gave the land for the mosque in London free. It cost several millions. In Dubai, the Emir of Dubai gave the Kali Church land and built their church for free. So nobody should tell us religion here. or you show me where Muslim or Christian buy bread cheaper, or have cheaper food, or have lights or water. You see, we can't do the road now. This road will be passed by everybody, Muslim, Christian, those who don't go to church, those who everybody. That's what we want to hear. Not that you're a Muslim, you are this. And it's not by my turn. It's turn of Nigerians to take back their country. So let nobody say it's his turn. Next year's election will be based on character.
This one will just be going around with coded violence.
If you're going to fight corruption, let's see what you use the money which passed through your hand. Maybe as governor, maybe as anything. What did you use the money to do? We can show you the results now. Nobody will say, you don't know where River State money is in this bridge.
100.
That is what we want to hear. We want to have people who are competent. This in which case is not showing competence. That is what we want. We don't want anybody to tell us this. We can't trust you. The entire land they gave you in the state, you allocated it to yourself, to your concubine, to your children, to everybody.
Jesus!
No. We now want you. Wike is not the contractor here. It's Julius Berger. Wike is not the revenue collector for River State.
Hey, Alpha Beta in the mud.
Did you see Wike in anything?
My principal has gone into Secretary campaign. Let's go.
River State. Not the way you go. People say, oh, Peter B invested in this, Peter B did this, Peter B did that. I said, go and see the banks that put money. One of the MD of the bank where I left money is for River State. How about me? Go and tell him, I left $15 million and over 10 billion naira in the bank. And I was not owing any contract. I was not owing salary. So, this time, we want to verify your past. You got to talk to your testimonial. Testimonial we can show you today is the bridge. 9. You do 10 next week. 9 is not testimonial. Somebody obstructed it.
Verify!
Yeah, I built law school for federal government. Federal government didn't build it, so it's him that is building it. So you do state one, you do federal one. Sir, I will recognize you more when I'm there because you are doing the work.
Also,
so I assure you, next year's election will be based on capacity.
see crowd.
Ability to deliver. You see what we can say now? He's doing this job because he has the mental energy and physical energy. It is not retirement home. We have to deal with it. So I assure you of our commitment. I assure you of our commitment to a better Nigeria. We will continue to work with the good people of River State. Take me as one of yours. Take me as one of you. I belong to you. That is the reason what I'm doing. This man is a famous man who invested his money in education. He doesn't have investment like others do, where we don't know what they're doing. Two of us, we know what we are doing. They know our age. They know the school we attended. Nothing in us. I'm not saying we are perfect, but you know you go to school. Once you have 75, you have A. Even if you have 90, still A, which means you are allowed some small mistake. But don't get that and be saying you pass. Two of us get A. And that is why we want people to follow us. Everybody knows our age. They know where we're born. They know where we live. They know the school we attended. We have classmates.
I swear.
This morning I was telling somebody about Peter Odili. I said Dr. Odili was my senior boy in secondary school. We couldn't have played football in CKC without Odili. Any day he's not in the match, we have lost. So we know. So I have people in River State that went to school with me. Some people, nobody has seen people went to school.
Vawulence minister.
Man, this one is cold, man.
Your
This is
classmates.
cold.
Hey.
This is cold.
That is what we are saying.
Campaign don't start.
Governor Wike has said that it is yours. Everybody should speak the truth. Everybody should do the right thing. And that is what we are starting with a new Nigeria. A Nigeria where people will speak the truth. A Nigeria where people will do the right thing. A Nigeria where we'll be commissioning project. That is what we came here to do today. To commission projects. This is how Nigeria we want. Where we are commissioning projects, not where we are giving excuse that this one happened, that one happened. May this be the future of Nigeria. Thank you and God bless you.
Oh, my people, you guys are. I think I needed this breather a whole lot, man, because man, this INEC stuff have been depressing. So, thank you, sir. Thank you. You guys heard. I think probably most of you that have been depressed on the space, hearing a whole lot of depressing takes and everything, at least you can have a little bit of breath of fresh air, understanding that the fight you're about to go into is a worthy fight. That the person you're about to go fight for, you're about to throw your whole heart into the ring for, is someone that is worth it. Someone that can tell you that these are my classmates. His past is verifiable. His present is verifiable. Everything about him, what he has done, are verifiable evidence. You can see them. You can look for them. People are coming out to testify about him. Thank you. For me, it is a privilege to work for them, and that is why most times I see people that ask questions. Have Peter spoken about this? I say, like, man, we let me say something earlier on. We are all running for presidency using this man. Always remember that before you ask him a question, ask yourself, what have I done? What have I done as a person to answer this question I want Peter to answer? What have you done? What mark have you kept? What have you done? And I can say something that there's a group right now. I can please post that group on the Jumbotron for us. Have you joined the group? Are you working towards exposing the whole electoral fraud that is impending? What are you doing as a person? So, guys, going forward, back to our topic, INEC is corrupt, Tinubu's drug and Deloitte scandal. And with us today, we're going to be having the very Dele Faru to me, one man that I admire a whole lot. He's going to be joining us very soon. At the top of the hour, I think by 5 he'll be here with us. So, guys, as I always say on our spaces, please retweet the space. Let's get more people into the building. I don't know if you're there. I think Mag was
Yes,
speaking.
I'm right here.
Okay, I think Mag was speaking. We'll just allow Mag to round up, and then we'll go on with the next speaker. So, I'm back to you.
All right, Mag, please go ahead. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, my brother. I can hear
Mag,
you.
Please
You heard
go
the
ahead.
speech, right?
I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Saddam and Omar. Guys, I don't know what else to tell you. If you listen to this man and you're still doubting, or you still think like you don't have the balls to defend him, defend yourself, and defend your vote, I don't know. Then I don't think you should be here. There is no other candidate, no other, none in this race than Peter Obi. No other person. That's just the simple truth. I look, it is Peter Obi or Peter Obi, nothing else, nothing. INEC, look, INEC should go and sleep. INEC has no choice but to give us this victory. Whether they like it or not, they will give it to us because we will take it by force. And it's the truth. We know all their antics. We know it. They are not smarter than any one of us here. Not to talk of putting great minds like this together. They can't outplay us. Please, please, and please, we need polling booth agents that cannot be compromised, that is ready to withstand anything these guys will throw at us. That is what we need right now. Guys, I'm telling you guys, we need polling booth agents that is ready to die, that is ready to put their life on the line. Because
you know,
when
one
you
interesting
stand
thing,
your
Mark,
ground,
on the People's Parliament about a week or two ago, we had Isaiah Davis Ijele speaking about having muscle men at the polling units, and a lot of people kind of laughed at it. But to be honest with you, I sincerely believe that it is important for us to have people that can, that have the physical resistance. Well, I mean, we can do all of the talking from now till tomorrow, but when it comes to the physical resistance, we need, some people who can actually take up that part of the task as well. So I'm hoping that if anybody knows any kind of Egbon Adubo or Eruku in their neighborhood, please tap into that resource aspect so we can.
Omar, let me tell you this. We're working on something, and I'll leave it at that. So just don't worry. I'm telling you, these people are not smarter than us. By the time you, Aki, Saddam, N6, myself, Peter Obi, Gaboni, UC Maxwell, all of us here, we sit down together. We will figure out a way. Give us an hour. They don't have this. They do not. They don't. I'm telling you. So, as I'm speaking to you, something is already in the works. So, you just believe it when I tell you that. We will man those polls, especially the northern part of Nigeria. We will. So, INEC, they have no choice but to give us a free and fair election. And if they choose not to, we will take it by force. That's a given. It's a given. We're not going to let this slide. So, I mean, if we have to match Mr. Jack, like I call you, I've always told you, I love and respect your work ethics when it comes to this movement. Trust me, whatever you want, count on me. I'm right behind you. We're going to go for it. I yield my mic for now.
Thank you
Omar,
very
thank
much,
you
my
so much.
brother Mag. I want to believe that a lot of people continue to feel like we're advocating for Peter Obi simply because we believe he's a saint. I think that if you're thinking that, you're completely mistaken. I've never made sainthood out of any human being. One thing I need you to understand is the fact that putting all three on a very proper, balanced scale, you'd realize that he ranks above them in every metric that you want to use to judge them. Is it competence? Is it capacity? Is it integrity? Is it honesty? Honesty when you're listening to somebody. I listened to Peter Obi when he was speaking just some moments ago, and you can tell that this man is speaking from his heart. Of course, there was a little bit of violence, gbas, and mischief here and there, but you can tell for sure that in terms of what he intends to do for Nigerians, he is speaking from his heart, and that is more than enough for me to bank on. And a lot of people don't understand one thing. The primary motive for me in all of this is the fact that if Nigerians are able to demystify our electioneering system, forgive me, for once, we'll be able to establish the fact that the power of the people is greater than the people in power, and there will be nobody contesting for office in Nigeria that would ever take Nigerians for granted. You would understand the fact that votes can bring you into power, real votes, and real votes can remove you from power. As long as that remains in your consciousness, the interest of the people would always be your priority, if you get what I mean. Thank you so much, my brother, magnific dude. Let's go to Gaboni right now. Gaboni, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine. I've been enjoying the
Can you call
conversation.
me up, please? When
Um,
am I going to be called, Omar?
Oh, Gaboni, you're going to have to forgive me because Peter Obi USA would smoke me if I do not let this
No
happen.
problem, no problem.
Yes, thank you so much for your understanding. Peter Obi USA, I sincerely apologize for keeping you waiting. Sometimes it's
No,
difficult, but you
I
get what I
know.
mean. Thank you.
Gabon, apologies to you, but I just wanted to quickly chime in before I do a school run. Please,
there's something that Jack did mention, which I agree with. And there's no more time for analyzing, and we already understand. Peter Obi doesn't need to, as far as I'm concerned, Obi does not need to say anything from now to election anymore. He has said enough. We love him as it is. That's why in Edo State they did not allow him speak. We love him. He has said enough. If you listen to Port Harcourt now, we know he's the real deal. That's why we are all in. This time, it's time to realize that the confidence that people that will not mention their name have to tell us that they will use our tears to ride their cars to walk after election is because they are in cahoots with INEC. Now we've caught them on their tricks. What do we do about it? I believe action, 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 including working with Mr. Akin and the team and many others working, and physically going to INEC offices to occupy it. We need our PVC today. We need to remove the list, the children from the list. We are not paid to do INEC's job. The ridiculousness of this matter is that INEC has a budget to check their own list. They were able to remove millions of lists from the south. But somehow, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is in the list in the north. We have over 10,000 people. Amina is being threatened. The list that they couldn't even sift through. Even a secondary school, what they call IT student, could have helped INEC to sift through these things before publishing for us. No, they don't want to do that. They are giving us a trap, counting TikTok, 6 days to go. If you don't see it, now you sabi. We need to get serious. We need to be on the streets right now, asking INEC, clean up this list, because there is no way we can use this list to go to election, no matter the English we speak. This is clear and present danger, and I just want to stress that. Let's get going. Jack, I'm with you. Of course, Violence Space, you guys are amazing. PO Town Square, we day here. We'll be smiling as well they shake. We know the fear. Let's go.
All right, thank you very much, my brother PO. Thank you very much. Gaboni, come in, please.
Yeah, thank you. Sincerely, like I feel INEC giving us 2 weeks to go through this thing is just a way for them to say they give you guys the opportunity, just like when they did when they were doing the registration. You know, the electoral law says 90 days before, but they gave us a particular time, and they said they've given us enough time. How do they expect us to go through that list when it is supposed to be their own job? See, like we've established, INEC is corrupt and they are not independent because it is impossible to go through that list and because it is impossible to get all the underage voters and all the motive. You cannot 94 million registered voters. It is impossible. And I think it's as a result of INEC being wanting to purposely disenfranchise people in the southeast and in the southern part of Nigeria. That's why when that INEC stuff come, when they say how many million people in the southeast were declared invalid. It is just now. Let me give an example. Now, I registered to vote sometimes 2010, I think it was when Obiano in Anambra State, when Peter Obi was about leaving in Anambra State. I think I registered to vote then, but I only got the temporary, so I didn't get the permanent today. So it was during this election, I said, okay, let me go and register afresh. So I went to do a fresh registration. So when I finished doing the first registration, they started saying that if you do any first registration and you have a former one, they're going to cancel it, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, I don't want to get disenfranchised. I have to go and do a transfer of my former PVC to a new one, to transfer it to where I am now, and it was successful. When this came out, when this list came out, I went to check. Do you know, lo and behold, those two PVC, those two records were there, just side by side. I saw my name came out 2 times, and I was like, then what did these guys clean up? Then why did they say they're going to? And it struck me that probably these guys focused on cleaning up the south and are not telling us to come and clean up the north. Because right now I'm in the north. Probably they focused in cleaning up the south and they got what they got there. Now they are not coming to tell us to clean up the north and give us 14 days to clean it up. That if we that federal government didn't allocate 200 billion to, does not clean it up, it is our business. I think Jack is right to be very angry, and everybody here is right to be very angry. For me, I'm very, because this is wrong. This is wrong is not even the right word. This is wickedness and evil. INEC know what they are doing, and I think we have to. It is becoming inevitable for that we hit the streets, and we let them know that we cannot take this, because sometimes what gets me so angry about this whole thing is because is when people think that they call it is politics, and when people think it is just politics and it is just it doesn't matter. See, in the last 8 years, can you count the amount of people that have died because of bad governance? The amount of Nigerians that have died because of bad governance, businesses that have crumbled because of bad governance, people that have left this country because of bad governance, doctors and nurses that have left this country because of bad governance, and the people are suffering as a result of minimal health officials because of the decision of people who don't know how to decide. Because when you go through that list, you will understand that you see 992, 992, you understand this evil was.
Gaboni, please, honestly, I want you just wrap up in a minute, but right now, please, I've been hearing problems. I've been talking problem. I said something that I said, if we're coming up to speak here, please, just don't come with problems. Please, we're looking for solutions.
That's what I'm saying. I said we have to eat.
I've been hearing problems. I can't keep depressing people here with problems. Please.
That is what I'm saying. I'm saying it is almost inevitable for that we have to eat the street, because we cannot take this. Like, if we go to the elections like this, then it is almost that our labor might, but God forbid, it won't be in vain. So if after doing everything we have to do, INEC is not listening and they still stand on this, there are 7 days that they give us 14 days to fix it up. If we don't clean it up, if we don't bring the attention to it, and even after that 14 days, that day elapsed and they don't do it, then I think we have to hit the streets. And I think what Magnificent said, me myself, I've taken out time to go through all my work to see everything, and I've reported, and I've reported all the cases that I think, even my own case, that I think there are discrepancies. And now talking about Tinubu's drugs and Deloitte scandal. This whole Tinubu issue, and I thank God that it is so many people are taking it up. We want to see what INEC and what INEC is going to do, because I know last they will say, if you don't like him, use your vote. But I think we should try. People should try as much as possible to understand that even if Tinubu loses, the fact that he contests for the president of Nigeria is a big blow to us as a nation. Sincerely, Peter Obi have done so well. I watched he's outing at River State right now, and with what all I see Wike is supporting him to a great extent, even though Wike is a very, very dicey person, and the kind of support he's getting from Rivers is a very big one. And like someone said, Peter Obi doesn't have to say anything again. We are doing well, but this is a fight for our lives, and I think we are fighting it well, and we should keep fighting as much as we can. I yield the mic.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you, guys. Please, going forward, please. If your hands are not up, I'll have to drop you. Let's take a cue, please. If your hands are not dropped, we have a whole lot of people requesting for the mic. And everybody that have requested, please just be patient with us. Everybody's going to try and speak. By 5 o'clock, Daily Faro Tinubu will be with us. From 5 o'clock, he will be here with us on the space. So, guys, please, if your hands are not up, I will drop you for other people to come up and speak. All right, let me take you, my brother. Oladipo, good evening.
Good afternoon.
My brother, good afternoon, Jerry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on.
Please, permit me in just let me say 30 seconds to play this song, please.
Go on, it's your time.
My own version says Tinubu na scam. I hope you all understand. As in, when I sat down and I read that thing because I'm registered on David Unden's. The moment that thing dropped, and I sat down yesterday, I just sat down in the middle of the night. I started reading. I read and read. I downloaded the documents. I printed some of the documents, especially the Deloitte one. After printing it, I read and read and read. And you know one thing that became clear to me? Let me tell you something. This man is a big identity thief. Number one. Number two, we don't even know whether na male or female, or a mix of the both. Now, the way the whole story is going. Another thing is the fact that the boldness, the sheer mentality of the arrant nonsense that these people stand for is so sad. And I want you to know, God forbid this man becomes president. Let me tell you something. Did you guys all hear that now Ghana, common Ghana, is proscribing Nigeria as a dangerous place to go to? Common Ghana. I'm sorry, I'm not denigrating my Ghanaian people, but I'm just telling you, this was a country where these people took refuge. Common Ghana is proscribing us as a dangerous place to go. It is so sad that my Yoruba people are so backward, especially the ones that are supporting this scam, are so backward and so cognitively dissonant to even take a time to think that we are doing ourselves not a favor, but a disservice to our children. Because let me tell you something, that thing Lamin says, our children will fucking curse us and spit on our graves if we allow this injustice and this scam to happen to Nigeria all over again. Have we not learned the lessons? Health-wise, he's not there. Mentally, he is sick. Evidently, with everything we are seeing. Background, zero. Educational background, unconfirmed. Lifestyle scam. Primary source of wealth, drugs. And some people are still coming online to say all this rubbish. You see, let me tell you something. Yoruba man pawe. I'll try if I can translate it. If I can't, Uma can help me. Wọ́n ní ọmọ tí à ń bá wí tó ń wa àrùn kì á parun lójijì láìsí àtúnṣe. I believe if you are a Yoruba person and you're on this platform now and you're listening to me and you're still thinking of voting for Tinubu, wàá parun lójijì láìsí àtúnṣe. Because you don't know the calamity you are trying to inflict upon us again.
Do you really think they don't know?
Omar, please interpret for us, please.
Yes. Okay. So they say that the child that we continue to reprimand and he refuses would get destroyed unexpectedly. I think that's the best way to put it. The child that we continue to reprimand, the child that we continue to correct, who has refused to listen, would get destroyed unexpectedly.
So,
Oladipo, did I do justice to that translation?
Perfect. You see, perfect. Because I don't understand how you can sit down and look at yourself and look at your children and say that you want the lives of your children to mean absolutely nothing. Because that's what you're doing. What kind of nonsense is this? That some people have denigrated themselves to the point that you have chosen calamity and sadness instead of choosing joy. Peter Obi is not a saint. Just like I told some guys in the filling station some days ago, yesterday. I had to queue at a filling station yesterday for over 3 hours to buy petrol that is being taken out of the ground in Nigeria. This morning, I designed a kind of way to take fuel from my car, because normally you can't take fuel from the tank side. I just designed a way to switch on my pump, and I have a way of getting it out. I had to pump out most of the fuel into jerry cans, so that I went back this morning when I was taking the kids to school, so that I can get another set of fuel, because I cannot chase round for fuel. It does not make any sense. Fuel that is not available, and some people are telling us that we consume 45 million or whatever liters, and you're still here. You see, my own word today is to the Yoruba people. Let me tell you something. One paleni palola toju ongan tí ó bá fọ́ adi bye bye. I don't know if Uma can translate that for me.
Yeah, I mean, multiple slaps times without number. Eventually, if you don't go blind, it will be very difficult for you to see. I think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this man brought Buhari. All these people keep coming. They keep slapping us, and we are still not sensible enough to say, let's send these people packing. Let me tell you something as I round off. You see, just like that movie, I don't know if Uma has seen this movie, this Mel Gibson's movie, Patriot. Hello? Who is that?
Oma, can you mute?
I don't know if anyone has seen this movie, Patriot. You know what Mel Gibson told them when they were deliberating about going to war? He said, this war will not be fought on distant land. This war will be fought right on this land, right amongst us. And our children will witness it. Let me tell you something. If you think that, okay, maybe you can take your family out, one of your family members will be kidnapped and they will ask you for ransom money. One of your family members will maybe die on a road that these people have eaten their money. So I want you to think very well. Ubatu Kunde said, Yoruba Runo, if you like, vote for the demon and expect goodness. You cannot keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. That is my case on the issue of Amoda. I don't have anything to say about Atiku because Atiku is not even in this game. Concerning INEC, let me tell you something. I have been reading all these things and I looked at it and I said this. Even if they placed a gun to the head of the people that did the registration, you want to tell me INEC at the INEC office cannot just do the registration at the place? Now take it to their office and remove all these nonsensical voter rolls. They are already planning to use the powers of INEC to rig. I have a problem. I don't have a problem about that. But the only thing I wish everybody in INEC that wants to rig this election is Deuteronomy chapter 28, from verse 15 to the end. That will be your portion till the end of your generation. If you attempt to rig this election, you will never know peace. You will be alive, but you will never know peace. Because we cannot continue to suffer, and you people will continue to change our will. You did it in 2019. You've done it severally. And we are here to say enough is enough.
My brother Oladipo, as you begin to round up, for the sake of those of them who do not believe in the Christian way of things, so they might not be able to understand the Deuteronomy part of things. But one thing I want to let them understand is that all of the gods, the ones on Mount Olympus, Ogun, Shango, Oya, and even the ones in Africa, would come against them in full force. Amadioha would participate in the destruction process. We're going to have a lot of deities that would come against them because Nigerians are fighting for their lives. And if you are against us right now, you are evil. and the gods of our land will
That's
treat
it.
you as such. Egbensu, the gods of the Niger Delta, the god of war in the Niger Delta,
That's
would,
it.
you know, it would come against them. You know, Shango, Ogun, Oya, Obatala, all of those.
My brother, all the gods are angry.
All the gods are
They starve
and
now.
they are not to blame. At the end
They
of
are
the
not
day,
to blame. Oh. They are not to blame.
Person
Because
say, I've been a river person talk say, do you know when last any god saw sacrifice of chicken or goat?
for
you
People they carry
understand?
those things come again.
Are you going
you
to
see,
serve the gods of our land, boiled egg and fry and rice?
My brother and Yam self no day. They're
you
hungry.
see, you see. Let me tell you. The one thing they've forgotten is this. I only know it in Yoruba again. Wọ́n ti forí jálé agbọ́n, agbọ́n dẹ̀ máa ta wọ́n pa ni. Whatever they plan to do against this election, one thing I want them to know is that they will be alive and they will be witnessing calamity on a daily basis. Because the plagues of Egypt will be like child's play in their lifestyle. Because we cannot continue like this. The things I've seen in the last few days, the way I've seen people suffer in the last few days for just a morsel of bread. Someone shared bread. You need to see how people were fighting each other for just bread of 250 naira each. And you are here and you are still rooting and campaigning for this calamity. May your days be entrenched in calamity as long as you continue until you repent. When you repent, God will have mercy on you. But if you don't, constantly seeing all these silly things that Tinubu is doing, how can someone go to a rally and does not even know PDP from APC? Though they are not different, but at least it shows you that this man's mental capability is gone. And you are here. You are still rooting for satanic opportunities. And you now want to be happy. You want to run to one country. You want to stay in one country and be saying that we should do this. That country will be hot for you. You will never find peace there. As long as you keep supporting evil. Peter Obi is not a saint, though. Anybody that cares to want to listen. I cannot even... Look, let me tell you something. Peter Obi is someone that, if they say, trust him with your money, I know if he give him my money, say, personally, nobody say I don't trust him. But I'm just trying to tell you that he's not a saint. I'm not saying he's a saint. But let me tell you, the man has the capability, the sense. He has spoken like someone sensible. And he has acted sensibly. And we have seen his antecedents. Look at the answer he gave to Sodo. That answer makes every bit of sense. And you are here. Call me a bastard, though. I don't send you. I be pure Ijebu Yoruba boy. If you try me spiritually, you go die. I don't send you. I don't send you at all. But let me tell you something. We need to get our acts together as Yoruba people. I'm here for the Yoruba people.
Please round up, my brother.
We need to get our acts together. We need to do the right thing. Nigeria. We are the ones spoiling Nigeria. We keep rooting for people that we know just because of the nepotistic and the tribalistic stupidity that we live in.
My brother Oladipo, before you go, I want to ask you something. This man, this APC man, he continues to say Yoruba Lokan. I want to ask you, if we are going by the rotation formula and what we call the zoning arrangement and the power sharing arrangement that our country has practiced since 1999 when democracy came back, truly, Shey Yoruba Lokan.
Omar, number one,
it's a straight question.
We are not even the next. The next in the rotation, if we go according to how it should go, it's from
the southeast.
It's from the southeast. It's from the southeast. So we should not even start that nonsense. We should not.
All right. Thank you very much, my brother Oladipo. But then, something happened in the past few days that a lot of people have not really placed emphasis on. It is a merger that happened between the APC and the PDP. They've come together. The twin evils of our nation. They've managed to find a common ground against the wonderful Peter Obi. And of course, that declaration happened in Jos. by the wonderful Amoda Ogunlere, or should I say Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the man who continues to give me so many things for content.
God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. God bless
Okay, so I'll take you to this one. Oh yeah.
An expired set of brains.
Gang,
An
gang, gang, gang.
expired
On
set
your
of
Monday.
brains.
Okay. On your Mondays, we shall stand. We shall stand. On your Mondays, we shall. Ege. Somebody sing. Gang, gang. Mandate of narcotics and terrorism.
Say one don't die on top the mandate. Say one die on the mandate. One die on the
Goddamn, you
mandate.
are not nice. You are not
I know
nice.
one
Mandate
don't die
of.
on the mandate,
You
man.
know, you are not nice.
If that man, if they told that man as he woke up that day that you go and die on mandate, you go.
Mandate when no fit stand by itself.
Mandate when they rushed him to hospital. If the system, if APC had worked, that we have hospitals that are working, probably he would have survived. But for the past 7 years, APC have destroyed the health sector. All our doctors have. We have more doctors outside the country than inside the country. Nothing
Saddam.
is working, and it will kill all of them. All of them. All of them will collect for the
Saddam, let us
system.
touch on something real quick. During COVID-19, something very interesting happened in Nigeria. I read it, on some platforms. I don't know if it was news that was available to people in the public space. But then I read it, and I believe that it is confidential information, that at the time when so many countries around the world locked their borders and their airports, and they made sure that foreigners were not able to come in, the chief of staff to the presidency at the time, Abba Kyari, got sick, and they were trying to fly him out of the country. They provided presidential jets and so many permits, but he was not able to get out of the country. So he had to deal with the messed up health system that they have managed to implement in Nigeria so far. I can tell you for sure that, speaking to you on this platform, I am a personal victim of Nigeria's health system, and it has really affected my life in ways that I cannot even come to terms with. But that is a story for another day. All I'm just trying to make you understand is the continuous mantra that I keep reeling out on this platform, which is the fact that bad governance is like a stray bullet, and it does not discriminate. It does not care whether you're Hausa, Igbo, or Yoruba. It does not care whether you're Christian or Muslim. As Peter Obi said, there's no place in this country where Christians buy bread different from Muslims. There are no places in this country where Muslims ply on better roads than Christians. At the end of the day, we are all victims of this very terrible system.
Bro, my own is that at the point, even if you want to be wicked to the people, as APC have shown us over the past few years how wicked they are, why don't you, as a people, just do it for your own self, let's say for your family, build that hospital, build that clinic to the standard of your own family. Just maybe let it be like you, Buhari, and family and sons with APC, just you and your people. Let you and APC people, don't allow any other people go to the hospital. Build it for your own self. No, they won't. They prefer to fly out. Even COVID, we see what he said about COVID now. That I think that's why the man died, right?
Yes.
He died. I think he died now, yeah?
Yes, Abba Kyari eventually passed away, unfortunately. And there were so many people that were victims of COVID-19 who were part of the establishment in Nigeria. And you know what? That was the point where I actually finally cemented my belief that God actually does have a sense of humor. Because when you screw up the health system and it gets to a point in the world where your money cannot buy you a better healthcare system, and you have to deal with the mess that you made in the country, I find that very, very hilarious. But it is what it is.
Omar, let me quickly say this. 2 weeks ago, I was in the traffic on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway for 9 hours. I think I spoke the one day and I mentioned it, for 9 hours. Both the inward and the outward lane was blocked. Now, there was this ambulance. There was an escort in front of the ambulance. And they were coming, the guys came down, they were begging people that they should the person needs to get to an hospital fast. But that ambulance still ended up spending close to 2 hours plus in that traffic. So if you think that you have money and you have wealth, you can buy anything, Nigeria will happen to you one day. That one is sure. You can run anywhere in the world. Nigeria will happen to you. So make una no vote very wisely. Vote for Agbado. Come see wetin go happen. Thank you. I yield my mic.
Thank you very much, my brother Oladipo. Please don't vote for Agbado, ladies and gentlemen. I beg you in the name of God. I beg you in the name of everything that you believe in. Don't go and vote for Agbado. We will suffer. And at the end of the day, the stance that I took in 2015 was to watch people suffer and I can gloat. That gloating is no longer happening. It has touched me because, as I continue to say, this thing is like a stray bullet. It go eat anybody at the end of the day. So please don't vote for Agbado. Go out there, vote for Peter Obi, the man that every right-thinking Nigerian right now believes that can actually switch the trajectory that this country is going to the right direction. I think that is the person that we should all be standing for. Please, I beg you in the name of everything that you believe in. At this point, I'm going to bring in my brother, Zari Yusuf. It would have been nice if we could take a lady before.
Yeah, let's take a lady before, please.
Yeah, but I don't think we have any lady on the platform.
There's one.
Yeah, we do. We have Nene Chuku. Nene Chuku, are you there? Stephanie.
Yes, I'm here.
Please, can you move closer to your microphone and bring some energy, please? Today is our neck pressing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, God bless you. That's the kind of energy I'm looking for. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I've just been listening to everything that.
Good afternoon.
I've just been listening to everything that was said on his face. Me, I don't even have time now to even come and talk about why Peter Obi is the best candidate or why Amoda is just a scam. I don't even have that time and energy because I feel we have better things to even do. What made me request the mic is this. I heard I don't know whether it was Akin Olaoye that was saying if you want to help in cleaning the data, I just want to volunteer because it's painful knowing that you have put in so much energy, even at individual level, even at group level. Because as an individual, I know how much I've put in to just all these there are some people that did not even get they've not done their, but I know how much I mobilize people I just met on the street just to go and register for voters card, and then someone somewhere will just come and upload fake things. It's painful, so that they will not come and laugh at us that our labor is in vain or something. So seeing all these things, why we just be there doing everything humanly possible and just to make sure that okay, we have this victory, and then somebody just go in and they'll not come and start laughing. The not come and tell us that it's because you don't understand politics. Which politics? Politics of rigging. I beg, please, what is the link so that will help me clean data? Even if there's anything else to even do, volunteer or anything that we can just, and then this whole stuff that we're saying about the protest. Please, I support protest very, very 100% because. Hello?
Nene Chuku, can you sort out your background noise? Is that you or
It's somebody else. It's not me.
Okay, so whoever that is, please mute your mic or else I'm going to have to drop you. Please go ahead, Nene Chuku.
Yes. So I beg, where the link for the link for helping to clean the data on the website, and then if is it possible to register to be, let's say, a party agent or something to just to secure our voting?
Yes, I think it is possible for you to register as INEC adult staff.
No, not adult
I'm
staff.
going to look
I don't want anything with INEC, just to go and protect our own votes.
Then you have to join the Labour Party.
Okay, I have to join the Labour Party.
I think so. I think it is important for you to join the Labour Party so you can be an accredited electoral person on election day. I really believe that. Saddam, would you buttress me on that, please?
You said about joining the Labour Party?
Yes, the person was talking about whether it is important, like how can she participate in the election?
Yeah, you have to please I think register. Go to the INEC site.
She said she doesn't want to register as an INEC ad hoc staff, so I said joining the Labour Party might be the only option.
Yeah, join the Labour Party as I think that's the best option right now, actually, because everybody on the day of from next month, I think next 2 months in January there will be the Labour Party will start asking for polling agents. So you can serve as a polling agent, which is very, very, very important because we need our polling agents to be people that are not compromised first, people that are ready to work, that are truly sold out on this mission. So you need to join Labour Party to be a Labour Party polling agent. So that is the best you can do. You can do that on their website. I think it's very, very easy.
Okay, is there a link to their website?
Nenechuku,
Yeah, is there a link to their website?
Does that answer your question?
Yes, but is there?
I think you can check. Yeah, you can go on the Labour Party NG page, and then you'll find a link to their website.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I think these are things that you should do yourself as a Nigerian. It is your duty. You know, I expect you to be able to do that by yourself. Don't get me wrong. I understand the fact that you come here for support and maybe for understanding, but it is important that you actually put in that work. All of these things that N6 comes here to say, and it goes like, oh, go to the book of Google. You can actually do it yourself. You can go on Google and find these things. You have a phone, you have internet, you can join Twitter Spaces. So why on earth can you not just find out you can join Labour Party? Please, I beg you in the name of God, all for one, one for all. It is important for us to understand that we cannot continue to wait for other people to take action whilst we don't do it ourselves. My brother Ayodeji Oyewumi has been trying to join and speak for a very long time. He's one of the very important grassroots guys that we have on the ground, and he's been doing the Lord's work out there. My brother Ayodeji Oyewumi, good afternoon.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you with a little bit of mobile noise in the background, but I guess you're in transit.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Saddam, Omar, N6, everybody, Manabolanle. I want to just, because I had a whole lot that has been shared today, and sincerely, I'm speaking with mixed feelings. One, of course, I'm quite happy that we are having this conversation around INEC and, of course, the readiness for the election. And on the flip side, I'm also quite bothered about our level of preparation, especially when it comes to the rural and the semi-urban voters. For a couple of days now, I've been on the ground, some of us may know, and I've seen a whole lot. Now, because I'm trying to as much as possible manage the network right now, guys, if you are an urban voter, please, I'm begging us in the name of whatever you believe in under the heavens, ensure that you mobilize yourself. Right? Now, I'm not here to motivate anybody. If truly you are so passionate about Peter Obi winning, you have two options. There's no other one. As much as I know a lot of points have been raised regarding, let's march to INEC, blah, 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 all of that. I mean, we need to do all of that. Yeah. Now, but to win the 2023 election, we have only two options. So we pick one. One, all urban voters must come out in their droves, in their millions, to submerge whatever that will come from the rural, semi-rural, or urban settlement. Because I can tell you for a fact, we've not started anything. My team they're here right now. We are moving from one particular location, which I won't want to disclose for security reasons, because we've actually faced a lot of challenges even on this top. And I can tell you for a fact, guys, if you think
Oh, my brother Ayodeji is struggling with his connection, unfortunately.
if you want Peter to become everybody, can you hear me, guys?
We lost you for about 10 seconds or thereabout.
Oh my. Okay. Let me just reiterate. My point is, can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
All right. Let me repeat. If you truly want Peter Obi to win, now you have two options. One, ensure you mobilize all the urban voters that you know. Anybody living in the urban settlement that you know, in their millions, to come out and vote so that we can submit whatever force that will come from the rural, semi-urban settlement.
Oh, my brother, your connection leaves a lot to be desired. It's quite unfortunate. But I believe that the message you're trying to pass across is the fact that we should do our best to mobilize as many urban voters as possible so we can demystify that idea that rural voting is the most important in our electioneering process. I want to believe that that is a fallacy. I want to believe that it is possible for Nigerians to actually decide who they want to lead them. And when I say Nigerians, I mean the educated part of our population. I think it is possible for us to do that if we're
I
able to
just
encourage as many urban voters as possible to come out and vote on election day come February 2023. My brother Saddam.
I just stumbled on the video right now of Wike when Wike was just like we were just on this place from beginning. Just please listen. Just listen.
It's not true. Some of you, when it comes to election now, you'll be playing football along this road. I told you when you came to see me, most of you here, on the election day, you'll be playing football here. But let me catch you play football again here. You must vote. Is it not true? You must vote this time, is it not? Okay, now calm down, listen to me now.
Wike was trying to control the crowd.
A biggie man, a biggie man, a biggie man, a
He was trying to
biggie
control.
man,
They
a
were shouting
biggie man,
Obi,
a
Obi,
biggie
Obi.
man.
So he said that he exposed them to Obi already. That many of them.
May God bless Wike. Be like saying that this space earlier
Wike,
this
you
morning
know
when I
the
dey
Do you
pass am.
understand?
vibes,
We were
oh,
saying it earlier on
biggie man,
today.
a biggie man.
Boys will be playing football. Come out and vote. You won't vote. You can't play football. You stay at home. Now it has done on us that they are not carrying people from village that have lesser population and tell us that it's grassroots. You don't have grassroots vote, you will not win election. How? Where? Oh my, please continue.
Yes. Okay. So, in Yesom Wike has been echoing the thoughts of so many Nigerians. So far, so good.
Forget to see, village, where you come from. Backbele envy. This is how it works. Even me here, there are those that are fighting me, backbele. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, some people, because of the level you are now, they envy you in their state. They can come out and say all kind of rubbish. Don't worry, that's how it is. It is your one person that will kill you first. Do you understand me? So don't bother about those things. I've always told people, when you are given an opportunity to serve, use it and showcase what you can do. Stop criticizing somebody who has already left. You have been given the opportunity now. Show it. I'm a professor, Professor well. I'm a doctor, Doctor well. I'm a lawyer, Lawyer well. I'm a mechanic, Mechanic well. Just a week, pepper down.
Oh, pepper down. Pepper down.
Professor, what do you do?
Pepper down.
Soludo go chop shit.
So, even
Oh, Wike, I want you to know, if you have anybody listening on this platform, I will give everything in my life to listen to your live band. Your live band, they look, Nigerians, please be patient. Saddam, indulge me.
inviting them to commission projects. You invite me to commission in your own place. So I have a choice to invite whoever I want to come and commission a project.
Vibes.
On Wednesday, Adams Oshomole will come and commission. On Thursday, Peter Obi will come and commission. As he did them,
He go to sweet us. As he did sweet us. He go to pain them. Thank you so much, my people, for sticking around with us. You're listening to the Vawulence Space. We're available on the Vawulence Radio. You can check out our website also, thevawulencespace.com. We're doing the Lord's work out here, and honestly speaking, big ups to all of the team in the background. We cannot mention you guys, but you're doing amazing work, and we love you so much for the effort that you put in. Thank you so much. So please, if you cannot join Twitter Spaces, if you feel like there are people you want them to have access to this conversation and they cannot join Twitter Spaces, you can link them up to the vawulencespace.com. It is available on low data and you can listen, but unfortunately you may not be able to participate, but then you can listen. So
Please,
and
let's
you can
trend,
have
though.
access
Let's
to
trend
all
that
of
INEC is corrupt also, bro.
please. The hashtag for today's space is INEC is corrupt. I want you to understand that Saddam has a saying that I find very funny, is that APC is a terrorist organization. I agree with that 100%. But I believe that INEC is also the greatest threat to our success in this election. And it is important for us to hold them accountable as much as possible. Please, INEC, hold them by the balls as much as you can, because if we allow them to get compromised, if we allow them to get away with so many discrepancies in the system, then all of our efforts, God forbid, would be in vain. My brother Cizo, you were going to come in at some point. It's nice to have you back. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. Still on the expressway, so I'll do some speaking when I get some balance. Please continue. I'm listening.
All right.
I think
Thank you
MJ
so much.
Stark.
Yes, MJ Stack.
Yes.
I think actually, I was even thinking of going to Zari Yusuf, who has been waiting for a while. And Zari Yusuf is a member of the Big Tent, the campaign council, and he's been doing the Lord's work on the ground. I think he's very much available at the place where they're having that PVC rally in Abuja at the INEC office. So it will be nice to actually hear what is going on the ground. Zari, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, Umar, Caesar, Saddam. Glad to be here. Okay, yeah, there is somebody also I noticed is on the space, Lady Prisma, and frankly, I think we met, I'd say a couple of weeks ago or maybe last week or so, and she has completely given me a new dimension of the whole movement, and I think I do owe her that appreciation, to Umar too. And I would advise, I think, if you're doing anything on the ground for the movement, I think following her would give a lot of insight. She's got a lot of idea, and I do appreciate that. Now, with regards to the movement, of course, we got to that office. We organized. Prof was there. Professor Pat Utomi, the convener at the national level, was there, and the spirit was quite high. And we got our message delivered. And frankly speaking, through the match, I did understand quite how shady a lot of things happen. Professor Yakubu was not there. They said he was having some security meeting somewhere with the chief of naval staff, blah, blah, blah. Of course, there were very senior police officers that were already waiting for us. So to a large extent, I think whatever point we wanted to make really hit the nail. We did meet with one of the senior officers at INEC, and we delivered our message. Now, to be very honest with you, I've had cause actually to meet with a couple of people. Now, you see, in Kaduna, so I just want to give a highlight about, there is this lady called Amina that has been talking about INEC. You see, Kaduna, Katsina, and Kanu, there is something about the strength of the votes in those states. They usually come from the rural areas. Now, what happens is this, of course, there is the fact of the population, and there's equally the fact of people that could be disenfranchised, but at the same time casting votes. An example is there are villages you go to. You see, when you deal with people who are elite, an example is in the urban area, it's most unlikely that when you delay for an hour or two, people will just go home. There is somebody that can just put a call through to either INEC or police officers or whatsoever. So you are afraid of doing that. But there are villages you go to and you feed them with whatever lies you want to feed them, and then you could just drive away and you could fill in the ballot papers and come back to the city and tell them you voted. You could do all of that nonsense, and that's where all of those figures are coming from. So you would understand that from even the high number of local governments you have in certain parts of the country. It wasn't like that until a point came when money started flowing from the top to bottom, other than people working hard to become productive. And then everybody now decided to have 40 local government, 100 local governments, and 1 million because money came. And then, of course, once it became the game of numbers, you can just go anywhere, even if the number is not up to that, it has to be filled. And because it is way in the rural area, you have the absence of media, you have the absence of police, and you have the ease of escaping with whatever evil you do there. So when people, of course, in the urban area, somebody could tell you, I didn't get to vote, and you could hear him whether talking on social media or talking to mainstream media. But in the villages, when people are coming, possibly they're tired, they want to go to their market day and all of that, you just walk away and you fill in all of those things. And that's where all this nonsense is coming from, that some people are feeling it is their birthright to even run, the show. Now, to briefly say something about, the drug stuff and all that, you see, in the scripture, there is a point where it talks about injustice, and there's a degree it gets. It no longer is addressed as injustice, it's addressed as perversion of justice. In the perversion of justice, everything in the justice system is intact. It is just that it will be used to vindicate the criminal and jail the victim. And that's the reason why, in the face of every available evidence about this drug lord, you will have a senior advocate of Nigeria, even against the ethics of his profession, telling you that if you are complaining about it, go to court, and all that nonsense. The simple reason is because they already know the results that would come out. It wasn't enough rigging the 2015 election, but that of 2019 was very clear. And simply because of the little semblance of justice in the system, somebody was quickly removed and replaced by another. Because in this case, I know every process of justice will be followed, but it will be perverted at the end of the day. And that's just the whole thing. And that is the reason why they keep making reference to court. It's simply because the whole system has been corrupt. And unfortunately, that is what INEC is looking like now. Such that I said it before, I said we should be careful so that we don't get to a point where there will be a free and fair election, but automatically somebody that didn't win will win. So we don't get to a point where there is, you don't, when you look at it, it's not exactly as if somebody lied or did anything. There was something that popped up. I don't really know. Maybe we will get to try to publicize it some more when somebody mentioned, because in this country, when you hear such rumors, they are not really lies. When you begin to hear somebody telling you that they said there were officials somewhere in some neighboring countries registering people, or there are rails being built, the access of the influx of people that you don't even know where they are from. You don't really know all of these things. Who registered them? Who registers them? Who deals with all of those local governments that basically you will have to pay taxes to terrorists to go to the market or to harvest your crops? But a day will come when somebody will bring out hundreds of thousands of votes from that place, or millions, and tell you that people went and voted. So that's the reason why I'm saying we have to be extremely cautious. And the truth of the matter is the people have the power to deal with that. The system in itself is perverted. So nobody tells you we are going to corrupt this one. No, follow the due process and get the wrong result, or follow the due process and get what is not right. Otherwise, why should somebody that, as evident as it is, who you are, everything is just obvious, but then you have people who initially began with that issue in the first place, defending him. And when you look at Twitter, you will understand that their social media rats are always in a hurry to tell you to go to court. The simple reason is because they already know what is going to come out. You will go to court, there will be dates, there will be whatsoever, and then he will be pronounced as this, and then they begin to make reference to the fact that we went to court and we won, we went to court and we won. And basically that's where we are headed. And I think unless we hold INEC to their neck, we will get to a point where it will be free and fair, but it is not actually free and fair, because it's a perversion that's basically going on. But I think I'm glad for the states that were part of the march and all of this. We've registered our concerns and everything, and I sincerely hope they get to respond to it, because the truth of the matter is, if they don't get to respond to it as they should, we should light a match and put to our willpower and make sure that whatever it is that the Nigerian needs is gotten. We just can't miss it this time around. So we will not be looking at a bad country if we miss it by 2023. We will be looking at a no country anymore. That's just the truth of the matter, especially with the kinds of characters that want to do whatever it is possible to get there. So I'm just so grateful. It was actually fun. I didn't know it would be as big as it was, looking at the fact that it wasn't exactly organized in form of a 1 million man match, but there were a lot of people, and the message was quite strongly received. And I just hope the rest of the states that did it today and the ones that would subsequently follow will do the same thing. Yeah, thank you so much, and I yield the mic.
Thank you, my brother Zari Yusuf. Thank you so much for giving us deeper insights into everything. Yeah, into everything that's going on the ground. God bless you. What you guys are doing today at the INEC headquarters in Abuja, honestly speaking, you cannot imagine how much impact that is going to have going forward. And I hope that Nigerians on the ground would also do their best to match the efforts of our people on the ground. Don't come here on Spaces and ask silly questions about what the Labour Party is doing. I find that very disgusting, because at the end of the day, this is a collective duty. If you are not doing your part, don't come here and question what people are doing. What are you doing? At the end of the day, all for one, one for all. Go out there and put your best into the process. Go out there and fight for what you believe in. And at the end of the day, posterity would remember you for being on the right side. Big shout out to Lady Prisma, as my brother Zari Yusuf mentioned. And of course, Queen Stella, thank you so much for all that you do for the movement. We really appreciate all of those who put in the work in the background without actually looking for any clout in this whole movement. Thank you so much. God bless you. You can follow those people, because at the end of the day, you're going to have direct access to so much information as much as possible. God bless you. Let's go to our next speaker. I don't know whether Cecil is ready, but my brother Archie has been waiting for a while, so I think we should just go to Archie right now.
Let's take MJ Stark. He has been here from the very beginning.
Oh Lord Jesus, Saddam, you're going to let you will allow MJ Stark shoot me.
Has been here. People like me right here begging for him.
I know.
Not himself.
MJ Stark. If you were to be a Yoruba man, I'll tell you one Congo of apology to you right now.
But before you go on, before MJ go on, I just want to reiterate something here, because in as much as we are here discussing and saying a whole lot of stuff, letting people get aware of where we are right now, I just want to, I always say this, that elections are 70% psychological and 30% groundwork. So you always remember that what we're doing here, I keep saying it, I'm not that man that will ever depress any person. I'm always telling you guys, I'm seeing a whole lot of people in my DM saying a whole lot of stuff. We're getting you guys to get aware of where we are as a people and the role INEC will play in this election. But I say this, if we come out en masse, if we come out in our millions and we hit the streets, let it be beavers, let it be paper, let it be manual, let it be electronic, let it be blackboard, let it be whatever means of voting, whatever means they bring out. Let it be A4, let it be B4, let it be counting by head. Whatever means they bring out. If we come out in our numbers in millions across Nigeria, no man can rig the election. That is our main focus, people. So please, as we go forward, it is important to understand the role INEC play, but it's also very important we know that we yield that power. We are more powerful than them.
Saddam, you know one thing that I often say is that the power of the people is greater than the people in power. But I don't think people understand what that truly means. You see, that power of the people that is greater than the people in power, it is meaningless if you do not exercise that power. That is very, very important. That power is there. You have it. But you need to exercise that power as much as possible. You need to use that power to the maximum of its capacity. You need to ensure that that power is being used to hold those in the know, those who are in the corridors of power when it comes to decision making of your life, of your destiny, of your country. you use that power to hold them accountable. Without doing that, that power is useless. As the Italian tire company advert goes, power is nothing without control. This is the point where I'll bring in MJ Stack. Thank you for your patience. And after MJ Stack, we'll go to Real Ever Best. The reason we'll go to Real Ever Best is because I want to hear his report on the ground. UC Maxwell, I see you. Archie, my brother, I see you. MJ Stack, I hope you've held back your bullets now.
Yeah, of course. Hello everyone. Hi Omar and Saddam
Good
and
evening
every other
from this
person
part
in
of
the
the world.
space. I greet all of you. Yeah, my brother Zari said something, and I actually want to confirm what he said. He made a mention of a case of people or foreigners rather being registered. And to be quite honest with you, this is not the first time that is happening. In 2015, there were cases of people all the way from Niger being registered in Yusufari, Mashina, in the northern side of Borno State. So it's not like a new news. These things have been happening. And for this election, if they're going, to the extent of registering underage people, less than 10-year-olds, then it's safe for us to assume that they've also made other arrangements. Now, if we're looking at the INEC registrar, we can find the underage people because it's obvious. So how do we know people that are actually foreigners? It's impossible for us to know this. And I also want to take Zari and every other person who are putting in effort on the ground regarding this issue with INEC. Because right now, we are doing the best we can online and also filing for objections and all of that. But at the end of the day, my people, I want us to be rather pessimistic about the whole thing. Let's picture a scenario whereby INEC is complicit, because that is most likely the case. All right. So if those people among the APC and the PDP, if they already have, let's say, a combined 10 million vote leads, right? The only way we can beat that, the only guaranteed way of beating that is by outscoring them. It's by having more number of votes. So at the end of the day, if Toby can get 20, 25 million votes, then it doesn't really matter what they are doing, because that means we're going to come out on top. All right. So I think we're doing a good job, but let's also bear in mind that at the end of the day, INEC may decide to not really do anything about this. I don't want to be that, agent of doom who is bringing bad news, but the best we can do is to actually get more votes, right? So let's keep working on that. Let's not be distracted by Amoda or INEC or anything. Of course, we have to talk about these things, but while doing it, I recommend we also keep on, our mobilizations in the grassroots and other things that we're doing to actually get us more votes. That is the most important thing. And so far, so good. INEC themselves, from what you can see from their handle, they are not even, in a same place. You would see them apologizing. Oh, we had some errors. Some corrupt officials registered, minors. They would make an explanation, make an apology, and fix it immediately. But they're not doing that. They're expecting us to go to the different local governments to file complaints on each of those cases. And now I have it on good authority that one of the so-called INEC officials spoke to someone and said apparently there's nothing they can do about this. So my people, let's work more on getting more votes than they are. All right. So they already have the lead with their fake votes. But what can we do to actually mass up more votes than they have at the end of the day? All right, let's focus on that, people. And thank you everyone for all you do. Saddam and Cecil, Omar, thank you very much for always hosting the space. It's always a good place, to listen and get more energized, because sometimes you're getting a lot of bad energy. It's good to actually have more positivity to help your mental state to keep doing what you're doing. All right. So thank you, everyone. And I wish everyone to enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you,
Thank
brother.
you so
Omar,
much. Oh, okay.
Omar, I want to ask you a question. Why we're having these discussions? Guys, I appreciate the whole DMs I'm getting. God bless you guys. I'm my DMs, and sometimes
I can't imagine what your DMs are like.
There's
Honestly, I don't envy you.
Hey God, when you open
Because my
DMs,
own DMs, they are crying for help.
I opened this since I started having this space. The DM, it is crazy. I've been getting a whole lot of. We said something earlier on where somebody I asked that question that these guys are collecting people's VIN number or something, right? somebody now threw a question to me in the DM and said, but right now on the website, we have all the VIN numbers on the website.
Okay.
So if you say that you can vote with the VIN, that you can read the election with the VIN number, why can't I just start say all the millions of votes that are the VIN, that with all the VINs in the website? Why can't I just collect everything and say everybody vote for me? So there's something I don't want this. I don't want me. I don't like conspiracy. Nello was one that said that they can vote with VIN. No, let me bring it back up because I have to ask this question.
Yes. I want us, because this thing that you've mentioned right now, honestly, you've sent my brain into overdrive, and I'm trying to come to terms with what they might be up to. Because of course, we've always understood the fact that there is some sinister motive behind everything that is going on with all of these beavers and everything. But at the end of the day, it is difficult for us to pinpoint where exactly these guys are going to touch us from. So if you can bring Nello in on this, I'll be very, very grateful for that.
It's crazy. Nello, please, I want you to explain it.
Yeah, actually, Aki has explained it, I did say my own part, but then what you just said now is the fact, But the thing is do they, on these details, do they have their addresses? Because, for that to bypass, you also need your mobile number and your address. So it's not just the VIN number.
So what if that is what their own grassroots sensitization has been about?
Yeah, that's why they are collecting these details. But then again, Akin added, more background to it when he said that what they are basically doing is collecting data. They want to know the people that will come out to vote for them. They want to know how they will suppress votes. So basically, when you look at it, it's about data collection. They want to know how many, if INEC has released, let's say if you come to a local government, you have total number of registered voters, and then maybe you come to a polling unit, they've gone round, they know that, okay, maybe this polling unit has like 140 registered voters here. They've gone round, they've collected, say, 70 people. They know, these ones are sure for us, you get. Then the remaining 80 people, now they want to know how many people have their PVCs. They get those information from INEC, and then how many, then the other people that have their PVCs at home, they would then find out, see how they can suppress. So they have the names of, I can explain everything. They have the names of the people that are for them. Those people, when they come, you might come now with your own PVC and you're not part of their names. They will tell you that they will say the BVAS is not working or something like that. This is why I said we must. I know a lot of obedience are saying, I don't want to have anything to do with INEC. You must have some. It's just for how many? A few months. You should, if you can, register to be an INEC ad hoc officer. It's very, 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 very important, because I'm telling you guys, a lot of rigging is going to happen there, as well as the polling units. We must make sure that because the kind of money that is going to fly around this period there, so that it has to be someone that is dedicated, someone that carry this obedience for head, someone that even if they give person 10 million, 100, the person will say no. And again, guys, you see this data that they are collecting, please, we also have to do it. You have to go around your neighborhood, your streets, if you can, organize yourselves and collect data. Try to know how many people are going to be coming for obedience, how many people have their PVCs, how many people registered that have collected. So that even when you want to protest, even that you haven't gotten your PVC, you can all come together and say, listen, it seems INEC is deliberately disenfranchising us, because how is it that in this polling units, in these streets, we have about 100 obedience, but we all registered, but nobody, every time we go to INEC's office, they say there's no PVC. That's evidence collection. I think that, it's very, very important that we also do this as well. We also have to go around and collect data to know how many people are, going to be voting for LP. Unfortunately, we cannot leave all these things for LP because they don't have the manpower. And besides, remember, now we say make Peter Obi run. So we're running for president through PO. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my sister Nelo. Oh, well, I think that explains it completely. For some comic relief, let's go all the way to Rivers State.
Nobody got Ebola like we do. Nobody got Ebola
All right, we'll see how that morale plays out in 2023. My brother Archie, good evening to you. Archie, are you there?
Good evening, my brother. I dear. Now work I just finished, so I say make I go deal with food. Though I just boil food finish like this because I don't carry my hand go to for INEC work today. See, Oma, Saddam, Olong. See, Nigeria has been suffering for 2 decades. My goodness. Waiting my eye don't see today. I not fit talk calm. God, I have seen multiple registrations.
I'm so sorry. Please go ahead, Archie.
I have seen children when I'm if born them normally. I suppose they do school run with those boys and girls by now. They are registered voters. I have seen things with my eyes. Today, a few days ago, we go mark space when the rest of the people go they talk about Ngozi and how she they make pushes on top group where she organized for INEC registration. I will be okay. One day I will go in. One day I'll go in. Then today I made a call. Someone said something, I think 2 days ago, concerning how you can contact INEC top officials, the highest of them. You can't have conversations on elections with them right now without monitoring. I can't remember. So I get person for INEC Abuja way really, really high. I sent that message last night. Say, Madam, how far you now? I won't follow you talk. And election man, he replied, he has to be on WhatsApp, and I will tell you when to call me. Now this morning, I just did my own. Then knock me call. I pick call. I started having the conversation. Let me tell you where he ended up, just to summarize this very gist. Her words were that, guy, what you guys are doing is very effective, but please, you are doing half of the work. If you're just reporting these guys on the system, we can't access it. Exactly what Jack was saying. Get those PDFs, those printouts, gather them around, print them out, and gather and come in your persons. If it is going to be with protest, bring it to INEC office and drop it. And this is the advantage we have. This is why I now know that most of the people where they front burner for this space, they have connect everywhere. We know people. Will not be earlier. All of us get people everywhere. Oracle posted something just, I think, sometime early this morning or yesterday, where it was like, gather those papers, go to INEC office, dump it on them, and then call a war press conference. That's exactly what this lady said. Saddam, you were asking for solution. No? The solution is very simple. People are moving today alone. I don't sit on 2 hours, pull out almost 50 to 100. People are moving these things in thousands. It is to get, I have gathered my own PDF. People are gathering PDF in groups. Join groups where there is 8 days we have left. Join groups. Join groups. Gather those PDF materials. We have to march to INEC. There is no way out of this. We have to march to INEC. We have to submit that thing. And we have to give these people international embarrassment. Because the way they are right now, you would understand Amada's confidence when he says things like, Farabale, we go win the election. Now we get
Bro, I
voters.
think we're getting actually we're getting information. Amina, the Vawulence, that particular account that's been
Yes.
working so hard, she said, thank you, INEC. They have opened their sites to enable us raise objection. It was difficult before as they require our personal details, VIN, date of birth. Our pressure is working. 1,000 objections raised in the last 2 hours. We're doing this for Peter Obi. Please, guys, go on the INEC website. I'm going to post that on the Jumbotron. So please do your best. It's retweeted. I'm retweeting it right now. So that gives you some kind of access. And then I have a DM from somebody that says this particular link would give you more information on the Beavers machine. So I'm going to do my best to tweet that. Please, guys, let us amplify this message. Let us do our best to make sure that we get it out there so that people can be aware of how they can fix this problem. Archie, please go ahead.
you've said almost everything. The truth is, when you go on that website, what they will tell you is by the time you flag off something, they'll ask you, are you a registered voter? So that you can put in your VIN, and then they'll now begin to track you in their agent of darkness strategy and their whatever tenet it is. Go to that place that they say you are not a registered. Even if you are, click you are not. When you click you are not, put in regular number details there. They'll ask you for your picture. You snap your picture and give it to them. But by all means, that is the easiest way. Because if you click you're a registered voter, you have to give these guys your own personal VIN, your own personal polling unit, and effectively all your data. Which means if we are to verify this very claim you are making, we are going to track it down to you. Now, a weapon that Amoda has, access to right now, and you don't see the way they take off person for election, you don't want to put yourself in front of that crossfire. So do exactly what I say you are not. Go through the process, report it, take a picture of whoever you're getting on your camera phone if you're doing with a computer. Save that picture, upload the picture. It has a size range. Upload that picture, and then towards the end, click print and save the PDF. Gather your evidence very well. We will print those papers, we will fund it. People have to march to INEC and call a press conference. If not them take back whoever, let anybody, we have to find a way to, because this is demonic now. 305 billion 2023, 234 billion 2019, 1 trillion 2015. And we are knowing that most of this demonism happened as way back as 2013 and 2011. What a country. You have to do your bit. Now we have had opportunity. Not be every time that they ask person for money. Use that your data. That spare time you have. Stay online and gather those evidence. Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Omo, the KKK vote na illusion. No. Oh my goodness. See, come and see children. Nigerians say, Oma, Saddam, well done. But by all means, please, find Akin don't post link. Oma is talking about the link now. Get on it. INEC has to feel the heat. Thank you very much.
Oma.
Yes, go ahead.
Please, I just want to share what there's this Pastor Paul Adefarasi. That man is one powerful voice that is a voice I respect in this time. Let me just play what he said earlier on, please.
It's of him, and he will protect. Don't fix some of Nigeria's problems today. That is this INEC problem. Say it plainly. INEC, put me in trouble if you like. It is a fraud. The numbers in Nigeria, as far as census are concerned, and as far as election is concerned, are a lie. And if nobody will speak up about it, the righteous should speak. And our righteousness is not of ourselves. It is of him, and he will protect. Hallelujah. It is important. It is skewed now so that where the numbers are not properly reflected in our voting. This is the only country in West Africa where you move from the ocean to the desert and the numbers decrease, or rather, they increase. It's the only country in the world where you move from a large body of water to little or no water and the numbers increase. It was not Nigerians that started it. It was the parents of Nigeria who were not good parents. They were not good parents. The man, Lord Lugard, was a devil incarnate. And what he did to this country, we are suffering it many years later, and it's time that we must tell the truth. It's time we must tell the truth. It's absolute, we must. And those of you who benefit from the system, when the judgment comes, unless you educate yourself in the righteousness of God, that's your own problem. You understand?
My brother Omar. We said this earlier on today.
Bro, I'm telling you for free that this man has been speaking my mind, and I can't wrap my head around this thing. Like I've said this time and again on so many spaces that it does not make any logical sense when you look at it, that every time you move away from a large body of water to where there is little or no water, you find out there are more numbers in the places where there is little or no water than where there is a large body of water. It does not make any bloody sense.
It doesn't.
It does not make any sense. We have been hoodwinked in this country for so long. People have been made to believe that a certain section of the country decides our destiny. And that is a lie. A lie that will, I've said it before, a lie that will be demystified during this electioneering process. And I want to believe that the only way we can make sure that, look, all of you that are planning to japa, this is to you. I need to put this out there. Saddam.
Go on, bro. Go on.
Yes. All of you that are planning to japa, I need you to understand something. I wish you all the best wherever you plan to go to. But if you are kind enough, if you are patriotic enough, if you are understanding and compassionate enough about the affairs of this country, if you can hold back, if you can pull back even your traveling to just one day after the election so that you can cast your vote. If you're going to travel out of this country and you have a PVC, I beg you in the name of God, can you please just do that? It will be a parting shot to the nation. It will be your own final parting gift to us as a people. That at the end of the day, you can say for sure, come whatever year in future that I played my part. I beg you, I understand how difficult and how much of a big ask that is. But if you can do it, just put your traveling just one day after the election. Don't worry, heavens will not fall. The good Lord will protect you and your household. Just cast your vote.
And
The
also,
urban voters can do our best to change the trajectory of this nation forever. If we can actually vote.
And also, if we can, if you're in diaspora, and you can also if you're in diaspora, you have your PVC. Please endeavor to come back. Many people, I'm telling them, put your leave for February. Come back from, please. We just have to do everything we can to take back our country. We have the power in us. It is with us. It is in us as a people. Don't allow anybody deceive you. I'm telling you, Omar, this is the last breath of a dying breed. They are gasping for air. We have pressed and choked these people's neck. This is the last. You know when you run when you run a marathon, you're in that last lap, that last 1,000 meters. You need to use all your energy. We are at that point right now. So everybody hand must be on deck. Whatever you can do, how you can help, how you can.
Bro, you know how I feel about this. So let's put it this way. My very dear football club, Arsenal Football Club, let's imagine they're in the Champions League final. They're leading by 1-0 against Real Madrid. And they know for sure that they do not have the star quality to take on Real Madrid bone for bone. But they're putting in their best to fight. They're defending with every gasp of their breath. And Real Madrid are throwing everything at them. They're throwing everything because they have all of the star quality. Football allows 5 substitutions now. So you can imagine the amount of stars that Real Madrid can bring up from the bench. And they're fighting against, this very talented but limited Arsenal team who are leading by 1-0. That is the obedient movement right now. That is Peter Obi. We're leading by 1-0. That 1-0, we're in the 93rd minute, I can assure you. We're just few minutes to the final whistle. We can actually win. We have it within our grasp, and I can tell you for sure that they're going to throw everything at us. But if we can resist with every fiber of our being, we have a chance. And that chance, I am willing to hold on to. Saddam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here with you. We just have to do everything
think this
possible.
is the point where we bring in UC Maxwell or Real Ever Best.
Yeah, I think you see them Real Ever Best.
Yes, but I have a particular information that Kelvin the satirist has information regarding people on the ground. So Kelvin, we'll come to you in a bit. I just want you to know that you're in our thoughts. Please try and bear with us because we have quite a number of requests. I think right now we have about 30 of them, and we'll do our best to make sure that everybody gets to speak. UC Maxwell, take it from here.
Thank you very much. I was about to leave. My battery is at 3%. I've been waiting patiently. I'm at this part of the world where Boko Haram have decided to terminate the power source, and we suffer it, heavily to charge our phones now. Charging phones is now good business in Borno State, Maiduguri. I've been listening. The problem with Nigeria, the Nigerian system is that, like I keep saying, they've always from time immemorial put us at the receiving end of everything that happens, in a way that the very, very few political elites always enjoys the badness and the rot that happens in Nigeria. And that is why every institution in Nigeria, even if it is failing, it is the people that will receive it, not the few political elites that are running these failing institutions. INEC is a very they have made sure that INEC continues to stay under the whims and caprices of the executive arm. It is not only a federal thing. Now, INEC is supposed to be the independent National Electoral Commission, but even when you go to states, INEC has been reduced to a tool which state governors use at their frolic whenever they like and in whatever manner they like. So we are seeing a lot of malfeasance from INEC. We are seeing a lot of targeted approach to see that people do not enjoy the goodness of voting in Nigeria. I bet you, in my polling unit, there are a lot of new registrants who are ready to vote. A lot. When I was going through it, I was so damn happy, owing to the fact that I know all the work that we have been putting in there and a lot of people that are obedient from where I stay. And they are trying to disenfranchise these people. Just to speak about this whole card thing, your card actually does not have any chip or anything in it that you need it to vote. So what it does is just simply for identification purposes, like the system of government in the UK, where the Queen is just but a ceremonial head, because she doesn't even take part in the policy making at the parliament and all that to some certain regard. So your card just identifies you before they can now say, okay, put your thumb or let us see your face. So actually, even without your card, you can use the beavers. I bet INEC to come here and refute this claim. I've been on their spaces, and that is why when I ask them questions and they make a mockery of the questions I ask them, it pains me a lot. I was on that space with Wayimi. In fact, I think Darren was also there when I asked them a very simple question, and they made a mess of the Electoral Act. If you look at the Electoral Act, you will see that the Electoral Act has given, under Section 19 of this same act, has given room for the display of voters, and that is why you cannot see any extension. I see somebody coming to talk about 2 weeks is too short. It has been provided in the Electoral Act that 2 weeks will be used for people to make complaints about these things. So what are we doing within the time available? Because when you later go to court, they will tell you it is statute bad. We cannot do anything because you had a time frame and you did not make use of this time frame. So that is why I never agreed with Jack, trying to make rubbish with a lot of people who have been going towards the side to make complaints. I say in this obedient movement, every small thing you do has a ripple effect to the greater good of this movement. And that is why the story of the hummingbird always comes to my mind, that when the forest was getting burnt, only the hummingbird kept on going to the river to pick just little drops of water to pour on the forest to make sure that it doesn't burn. Meanwhile, the elephant, who had access to even do greater things, could not. So in your little capacity, in your own great capacity, ask yourself, what are you doing for the greater good? And that is why I keep on saying we are not here to do this because of Peter Obi. Peter Obi is only at the receiving end of it, because so I don't want to say he made us wake up, but I want to say that it is a symbiosis thing. Peter Obi just drugged us some way with his capabilities and his personality, and we woke up at this time pushing this thing forward. If we do not put in everything possible, like of course Arsenal is putting in to win the Premier League this season after not being able to hold this in 2003 and 2004 season, but then I need us to wake up to the realities that INEC actually, leave me alone. I need you to wake up to the reality that INEC is not going to.
Use the MCs at this point. I'll tell you to please. You have 10 seconds. What thing concerns now? What is that?
Please, I need us to realize that INEC is not ready to help you. They are helping the executive who appoints the neck man and all that. Do what you can in your own capability. As for Tinubu and his drug and Deloitte scandal, it is so laughable. I'm a graphic designer, and it is laughable to see that they would go to Pinterest, like, to just pick up a facial, I don't know, and just make a mess of even ordinary small thing that you would do on your laptop with Corel Draw, Photoshop, and you would achieve it. But you can see how delusional these people are. This man has been an epitome of fraud. Everything about him is fraud, gender fraud, academics fraud, everything. He keeps on showing us representation of fraudulent activities. And by the grace of God, he revealed the relationship between PDP and APC, like we have been saying, that they are all the same, birds that have been flocking together with the same feather. So please and please do all your best. Get your PVC. There is no excuses anywhere. Continue putting pressure on them. If they tell you it is not ready, let us mount the pressure. Let us do the groundwork. In whatever capacity you can, do your own, and everybody will put this thing forward. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. I salute you, Omar, and Saddam, and every other person. I rest.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. All right, let's just move on real quick. Let me bring in the lady here. Anela, you've spoken before, but let me give you like a minute to
It's
wrap
okay. I
up so I
can't
can
even
move on.
remember what I wanted to say, so I'll just go down. When I do, I'll come back.
Okay, great. Okay, let's move on real quick. Mommy Bolande, good afternoon, ma. You're welcome to the space, ma. You have the space.
Good afternoon. I've only had 2 hours sleep because by the time I was finished on Spaces yesterday, my moods were swinging between being distraught and just being pissed off. Because some of the submissions made in a particular space where people who are on the ground were giving us feedback of what they were encountering in trying to deal with this INEC issue. At a point, I think I messaged William and I was like, what can we do? We need to do something, whether it is that, because what INEC has put out for us is not something that we can review. The intention of the Electoral Act was for us to see our individuals. So as an individual, you go and see if all your details are correct, right? It wasn't planned for it to be, an exercise in which we begin to weed out duplicate entries or children. And I was like, the little I know about IT, programming language and all the rest of it, I was like, if they wanted to weed out duplicates, they would have, because you can run that program, its system will automatically bring up all the duplicates, and you could then remove them, right? And likewise, there's software you run that can identify. It's not perfect, but one thing, if you see a 5-year-old, you'll know that's a 5-year-old. It's a different thing when you get into perhaps people in their teens, not quite 18, and that would have been, I mean, what they've done is so blatant. And that's why I'm pissed off. This isn't even a case of, I mean, one lady was saying she started to go through her own PU. She said, so she started one night. She said the following day, as in yesterday, when she went back to continue, they had added 200 more people. She was like, how can that happen? How is it that they increasingly putting more and more people on the list are leaving? So it's one day for everyone else, registration has ended, but they're adding people. And my frustration with INEC is the thing about, when you go IT and everything else, everything has footprints. Everything has footprints. You would know when somebody has been in the system, what time they did, the actions they took. Every system has that. So I'm not understanding, right, why they can't go in and say, look, these people have done XYZ, and as such they need to be arrested because it's a criminal offense. I agree with the Occupy INEC. It's time to occupy INEC, but that on its own is not enough. It's not enough because even after we make the noise, right, the way the Electoral Act is written, it does not give room for wiggle room. It doesn't give wiggle room. right? So as far as INEC is concerned, once this 14-day window is ended, they have satisfied the legal requirement, right, to have it. I mean, there's an argument for us saying, actually, no, this cannot be considered that, because you can't see that many entries. We're talking millions. We're not talking thousands. Because that, I mean, when she initially started, I remember when she initially started, she said she found 1,000, and then it was 5,000, and then at a point it was 10,000. This is not for a state. This is for a polling unit, right? 10,000 underage children. 10,000 on let it just sink in. 10,000 underage children, and this was just in Borno State. She was even saying that some places where she knows that people have been sacked from that area, and they are in IDP camps somewhere else, and yet they are saying that these are the number of people still there. That if we're saying this is a life system, right, which means that you're not just transferring one set of data to another, because they were saying, oh, they combine data. Yeah, but the moment you combine, you then have to do data cleansing, because they are going, I mean, no system is 100%, but they have not even tried to. They have not even tried to, which is where I was thinking that we should head to the courts and say that, hey, this 14 days so-called thing should be halted, because the electoral register, it is not ready to conduct an election. You cannot, not with that election register. And I've said, if worst case scenario, they postpone the election, because at the end of the day, we want to get
Mommy,
this
please,
right.
I have to come in here. We cannot, no, we don't. The truth of the matter is that we're just getting involved in elections. That is why we haven't complaining. This has been happening for decades.
Yeah, I know.
So I know I'm going to, I'll allow you round up, but I'm saying this: there's no postponing of elections. Election will go on. If the court don't accept, if we go to court and it doesn't work out, we have called out Nigerians. What this should signal to Nigerians is this is a fucking wake-up call to every Nigerian to step out and vote in your numbers. If we come out in our millions to vote, all these their numbers will be inconsequential. That is where we should be driving towards. So, but calling for election postponement it is not it. It is not it. We have the numbers to win. The problems are the numbers we have. Sit down at home during elections. If they come out and do our work as a people, we come out and vote as a people in our millions. There is no amount of rigging. We have seen it here. No amount of plan, no amount of hearted job Tinubu want to do. If Nigerians come out in their millions and vote, stay back there, watch their votes being transmitted, follow up the vote to coalition, follow up the vote to this. There is no amount of rigging. There's no amount of child voters. The problem is that they bank on that we don't come out to vote. Then when we don't come out to vote, these millions that have sneaked into the list, probably 5 or 10 million of fake votes, will not work in their favor. So we should be getting our attention with the point of calling for the moment you say postpone an election, you're arming your enemy. But you can go on more.
Okay, I mean, we can agree to disagree, but from what I saw when I tried to access the system, I was like, this can't work. I know people are working hard to try and put up objections, and I'm encouraged by it, but we have to do everything possible. So even if we continue to mobilize in the grassroots, we continue to try and get out the vote in the urban centers, but at the same time, we need to bring INEC to task. Fine, we can bring it to the attention of the international community, but that's not on its own. So we have to have an approach, that takes into consideration all these kind of issues, right? So even if we do go to court, even if it doesn't work out, at least we know we've gone, right? Even if we occupy INEC, and at least we'll know we've done it. And yes, I mean, focus on getting the vote out. It's very important, and I accept that, but I know how I'm feeling right now. Yesterday, I couldn't sleep because I kept on. And then when this Tinubu thing dropped, okay, I've always known that there's a problem with his qualifications. When you see a politician doing affidavit in this day and age, any institution of learning that you've attended in the West, they will have your records. They would have your records. I went to primary school here in the UK, right? So when I came back, my daughter went to the same primary school. I needed something from them. Yes, it was archived. Yeah, it was very crude, but it was still there. I was still able to retrieve it. So you, as a presidential candidate, the fact that you gave an affidavit already is suspicious. Because even if you've lost your paperwork, right, as long as you know the year you attended besides, we know the guy. Everything about the guy is fraudulent. I don't know whether Sado, I don't know whether you actually watch those videos that I said asked you to watch. You watch it, your heart will just be breaking and re-breaking, and to a point where you'll be saying to yourself, what the fuck? What is this? The thing is, they've turned a blind eye because money has been involved. They've done it. I mean, it's like when the late Ganifawe pushed on it. They said he was a governor and therefore he had immunity. And what the court said was that when he finishes his term, right, they can take it up. Right. When he finished his term and people made noise, it fizzled out because the criminal complaints of forgery and all the rest of it, I can't remember which police officer, one high up, said, oh, it's too late, and I was like, so the court just said, Ganifa, go and sit down somewhere, right? They did enough just to placate him, and meanwhile they knew they weren't going to do anything about it. But what really, when I was reading through, I read it twice. I read David Honda's article twice. I looked at every single document. At one point, yeah, I was zooming in because I'm thinking, am I seeing right? So what was this lover said about him taking on a female's documents and all the rest of it was true. Was true. And I bet the reason why he couldn't go to that unit to get the paperwork was because it was a woman that went to that college. It was a girl, wasn't him. So how can you approach and say you want to collect something?
Mommy, I think I have to come in here because we have,
I'm going. I'm done. So yeah, so this is, I'm sad for where these people have taken us, but I'm still optimistic that if we put in the work, we will still win, and that's where I am. All right, yield the mic.
Mommy, let me just give you a word of consolation. Somebody sent to me right now in the DM. He said I should tell you something, that Buhari tried for 3 consecutive times with all those underage voting, and he never won the election. So take that and rest your mind.
100%.
He tried 3 consecutive times with all those numbers, and he never won the election. So just rest with that, knowing that it's something that has been done forever. If you just know this, this is how Nigeria has been. Just that we are not woken up as a people. That's why it is coming to our face. If we're not going to practice, if I tell you something, and if we just choose to remain docile as a people, in 2027, the same thing will happen. In 2035, it will still happen. Till the day that we wake up as a people, and I'm happy that we have woken up now. We're not interested. Look at Nigerians. Look at you. Mommy say you just slept for 2 hours. You were busy going through what on a very normal day you will not do. That is the power of the people. We are working. We are not becoming active citizens. So please just rest your mind. We'll keep pushing, doing our own bit as a people. Guys, by 5 o'clock in the next 1 hour, Daily Father team will be with us on the space. So I just want to try and make sure that we clear the space. Let's allow people to speak. So please, if you're speaking, try and be watching me and my brother Omar. We'll be waving our hands. When we wave our hands, you understand that please, it's time for you to wrap up your thoughts real quick. But before then, Omar, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, my brother.
I want to borrow you your this thing. Let me just give these people one bagger.
Please go ahead.
They asked this man yesterday in Jos, what will you do for the people of Plateau, my beloved state, Plateau? This was his response.
Buhari.
That one can't carry face like say, guy, I don't know your papa. I know they take me chase clout. Honestly speaking, I've said it time and again on this space is that I have a lot of love for Buhari right now. Because he has done us a lot of favors. Of course, he has harmed us the most, but at the end of the day, he has actually done us a lot of favors in terms of Nigerians just being awoken to the level of rot that we have in terms of our leadership. Look at this man. Can you see this clown? Buhari. That's all he has to say. Put videos. I said it. That person, whoever came up with that line, if you're on this space, God will bless you extensively. The person that said that APC supporters, they use Bola Ahmed Tinubu for comic relief. And they use Peter Obi for critical thinking. I completely...
I say, I just wanted to ask you to say that stuff again.
Baba, when they say issue-based campaign, they want to talk about Peter Obi. But when they want to talk about their own candidate, they're like, yes, we're going to support him. He will be your president, whether you like it or not. I'm like, boy, now you talk say issue-based campaign now. So can we...
Oh, God, obviously. Issue-based, you're not going to be shouting, Buhari.
Whether you like it or not,
a drunken master. The man without he has overdosed. I'm wondering.
Saddam, did you see where he was about to fall? Honestly, whoever is in that man's family that is supporting this, you're a very evil person. I just need you to know that, like, it's actually not fair. Low key, like,
at this point, it's wickedness.
It's wickedness. Like, it's actually not fair. I get the fact that money is a powerful motivator, but Abba, that man is somebody's father. Look at him with that agbada and the Ray-Ban glasses you wore for him. You know, only God knows how many pampers is under that white agbada. At some point, they got him a seat. He had to sit down. And Kudus posted the picture, and they were trying to compare him to Awolowo. God will punish you. I'm telling you, whoever is comparing that man's picture to Awolowo's, God will punish you.
That thing broke my heart.
That was very, very. It was
real. This my brother had his birthday yesterday. Yesterday was Chude's birthday. And Chude was celebrating.
Yes. Big happy birthday to you, Chude.
Happy birthday to you, Chude, in Arias. He was celebrating his 26th birthday. And I sat down yesterday, you know, and I saw some APC tweeting, now even small boys say they even follow the push the movement. And I sat down yesterday, I had this second thought, I was like, Chude has calculated his age. He's 26 now. If he gives the next 8 years of his life to a failed government, he will be 34. And you now probably are 34 years right now. You want to give the next 8 years. The next 8 years of your this thing. My brother, you will be like 42. A 42-year-old man now, how old will he be? 50. So if you do the math real quick, you see that the young ones are screaming their lives right now. They have calculated because you're giving your next 8 years to someone that he has passed his prime. According to court documents, he was 58 years as of 93. That man is 87 years now. Forget any football political age they are giving you now. His real age. He's 87. That man is closer to heaven or hell than he is to life.
Did you say heaven or hell?
No, let me. He can repent on the last hour and God will save him. That is, I'm a Christian. I'm speaking. That's the truth. That's
I have a very different opinion about what Nigerian politicians used to swear. I prefer with that if they can drink water from a gun.
There's chance for me. There's chance of salvation for any soul, no matter how dark the soul might be. Even him, even despite what he has done. But as it stands now, Is it that kind of a person you want to give your future to? Someone that you can vividly see. You don't need anybody to tell you that this man is as he is right now. He's past his best days.
No, Saddam. Even apart from him being past his best stage, I mean, some of his supporters, they will say that they only need his brain. I don't know what you want to do with a brain that is not even working, but only God knows. Maybe they want to, I don't know, maybe they want to donate it for research. You never can tell. They probably have some kind of...
Bro, I've been on this app and they have been lying up and down. Do you know the past few months how they have been shouting, he work in a big four, he work in Deloitte, he work in this, he work in that, Hey! And this week Deloitte scandal came out. I'm like, God.
You see, Saddam, because you are not a Yoruba man, you may find it difficult to understand the image of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that we have. You see, in the 90s, there were quite a number of our big uncles, I'm being very honest with you, that excelled in the drug trade in the Americas, in Europe. And many of them were able to come back home and rebrand themselves as, well-meaning Nigerians to a large extent. And I believe that Uncle Amoda Ogunlere falls into that particular category. The only thing that he has managed to do properly is the fact that his packaging has been so sophisticated to the point where he could get to the level of a state governor and then become a political godfather in that state, thereby legitimizing all of his past discrepancies and making him come across as somebody that is bold enough to run for presidency. But you see, unfortunately for him, we have the coconut-head generation that is the Sorosuke movement. And there's a lot of determination when it comes to putting a stop to characters like him being able to find their way into governance. And by the special grace of God, we're going to be able to achieve that. I think right now we should just go to our speakers. Kelvin, the satirist, you've been waiting for a while. Sincere apologies for keeping you waiting.
Yeah,
Kelvin, are you there?
Go ahead. I am. Thank you, Omar. Yeah, thank you, Omar. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, yeah, with respect to the INEC issue, I just want to wonder if you are not very strong with your mental health is suffering before you're having this anxiety over the election or having this fear or whatsoever, please don't open that website. Don't go through it seriously. Like, it is far worse than what you are seeing on the net because there's hardly any local government, any state or ward or local government or polling unit in some states in the north that you're going to open and you won't see a lot of fraud. Like, it is overwhelming. It is mind-boggling. It is annoying. It is exasperating. Seriously. We actually have a team that has been working on reporting and cleaning the register for about 3 days now, non-stop, running shift and the likes. And I can tell you for sure that if INEC extends it for another 4 weeks, we might not be able to to cleanse that particular voter register, honestly. And I'm being very honest here because when you hear people talk about Lagbaja has 5 million votes in the bag, or Mr. B or Mr. Soduku has 11 million or 12 million in the bag, that bag is what that voter register, those kits in that voter register is what they are telling you about. So it's just like when you are playing a match and you have an handicap, like they already have like a lead. So that's why they are very, very bold and confident to put it to your face that the people who are going to decide this election, there are some who are probably sleeping under a mango tree with bows in their hand, and they are just lying somewhere. The people, so that's why they are very bold to tell you that, because they know where they get these numbers from. So it is left for us now, as obedient, to just get into action, just as we have been doing. A lot of people have been doing a lot of work. The Amina has exposed a lot of stuff. There are groups that are on Telegram, very silent. They are just working non-stop. They are just doing the Lord's work without even...
my brother Kelvin, can you hear me clearly?
Very well, very well.
Oh, by God, I just cracked a code. So you can actually be on two spaces at the same time. Please go ahead.
All right, no problem. So I was saying that if you don't belong to any group, please just try and join a group and lend your hand to this particular exercise that is going to come to an end very soon. that being said, a lot of people have this mentality of always complaining and talking and blaming Labour Party or blaming this. I was here when Peter Obi was making his speech in Port Harcourt, and I can tell you for sure that if you are still coming out after hearing that man speak, if you are still coming out to now say what has Labour Party done or what has this person done or what is Saddam doing, then you might need to go and check yourself again. Seriously, this fight is not for Saddam, it's not for Peter Obi, it's for you. It's not for N6, it's not for Omar, it's not for Kelvin. This fight is for you. So there's no need throwing tantrums or blaming or looking for Jack or where Jack has made error or looking for where one person is not doing well. No, this fight is for you. You have to personalize this. I don't know how to re-emphasize this. You have to personalize this. The possibility of having someone like Saddam was talking about age just now. I am 32. I've seen the horrors of Buhari. Right now in Edo State, we have been buying fuel for 215 naira for the past 1 week. 215 naira per liter. 215 naira. Nobody coughs. There's no light. And whenever the fuel scarcity is coming like this, whenever the fuel is going to go up like this, it's just as if they just cooperate with NEPA. You won't see light. I can't even walk. I can't even do anything.
So I'm coming, my brother. Did you participate in the election 2015?
Bro, I shed tears because of that election. I left social media for 3 good months. I've been saying it now. Me that was sharing documentary up and down about Buhari, say me that no voter. I broke relationships because of that particular election.
You were 25 years old then.
My brother, 25 years old me then. My
Bad
brother.
governors all carry enter your 30s like us.
My brother.
I was in my 20s also.
32. The next 8 years is very, very critical. I can't joke with it. If Saddam likes, he should mess up. If Jack, anybody like, they should mess up. I have to personalize this thing. It's about me. It's about my future. It's about that of my children. Because I don't know if you have seen this picture of this horse being tied to a chair, a plastic chair, and the horse is just staying there, just standing, not moving. That is how we are like Nigerians. The thing that is tying us is actually in our head. It is not real. We have to emancipate ourselves. We have to. Let's stop this victim mentality, blaming, and this. Let's just stop it. Let's just get our hands dirty and just make sure this 2023, let's make sure we get it right. Please, I beg you, please. Omar has been begging since. Omar has been begging. I'm joining him to beg you guys. I beg. I use God beg you now. If you know you cannot contribute to, maybe you cannot spare your time to go to the register and do whatsoever you can support groups with data. In our groups, we have a data bank that we collect data and distribute it to people. Trust me, Dr. Kelechi is there, Nello is there, Ngozi is there. A lot of people are there. Michael J is there. For the past 3 days, most of them have not slept. We are even running shifts there. So please put your hands. Let's get our hands dirty. Let's stop complaining. Please don't come here and complain. Let's provide solutions. If whatsoever you are saying, if it's something that we can adopt, we are all going to adopt it, and it's going to work for us. Please, I beg you all. Thank you. That's just my submission.
Thank you very much, my brother Kelvin. Saddam, you're going to come in.
No, bro, go on.
All right, so let's go straight to Ada Oweri. Ada, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Omar, Saddam. Good evening, everybody. Well, I can't say I'm happy to be here, but I'm happy to be here because it's good all this is happening to us. It's being revealed to us. This shows that Buhari coming in, he's been elected twice as a president, was a fraud. Guys, we need to wake up. We need to, I don't know whatever we are doing, we need to opt out our energy 1 billion times, because these people, they are here to laugh at us and make mockery of us, which will never allow them. We should never allow them. Don't give them breathing space. You see INEC. Guys, I want to ask, after all this discovery and making complaint and submitting all these reports, what is the next thing we should do? What is that thing we should do? We should be ahead of them. I don't know how we are going to do it. We should be ahead of them. When they are planning, we should, in short, we should go ahead and discover more of their discrepancies. We should do that. Because this time around, no breathing space for them to rig this election. Because I know APC, PDP are camping, they are hoping that with this means they can just sit down without even doing anything. They can't even go around to mobilize. What they are hoping on, they are banking on, is this fraud. They propagated to just win this election. No, it's not going to be possible. We are going to put more effort. I came to ginger everybody. We are going to put more effort. We are going to go ahead. We'll be 10 times smarter than them. We'll go ahead and win this election for ourselves. Because I want to believe that all of us here, Nigeria has happened to each and every one of us. If you are here, Nigeria has happened to you, and you don't want your future generation to experience what you have experienced, this is the time for us to wake up. If it's for us to carry our bed to sleep on INEC's office, let's do that. If it's for us to employ the tech guys among us, to pay them, let's do that. We have to be far ahead of them. This I don't know what people are saying. It's me that I'm running for president. I want to be president of this country, Nigeria, and I want a better Nigeria. Peter Obi is just representing me. I will be the one sending him, oh, Peter Obi, you've not done this, please do this. He's just a messenger, a servant to us. But we are the one running for this presidency. Because this is the time we need to call out all these evil people. Look at, I saw a video, I don't know, I think I saw it this morning when I woke up. I will round up very soon. I saw a video whereby in France, some people were beating up Cameroonian people were beating up their officials that came to France to come and celebrate, come and party, while the people of Cameroon are suffering. Obedience. We need to call out INEC. From Buhari, the deaf man, down to the Parkinson disease man. We need to boo them. We need to boo them. Boo them out of this calamity they're putting us to. INEC will never succeed. I yield my mic. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Don't worry. All right, I'm trying to make sure I bring as many people up to speak so that I will clear the space for when Dele will be with us in the next hour. So let's come to you. Tweet Doctor, you have the space, please. Good evening.
Good evening, Salam, my brother. Omar, I salute you. I mean, I think it's high time we create, if it is possible, 2 spaces for violence space. Because this is the only place we don't play gentleman. That's the violence. If you don't want to be a gentleman, come to violence space, then you get yourself sorted out. I missed my work today because of violence space. I'm supposed to have gone out for work. I'm just like giving swim excuses, waiting for time to speak and raising my hand and listening. It has been so awesome. And believe me, I don't know, Saddam, if you've taken time, maybe try because I tried to Google even on spaces on Twitter, on their audiences for the past 30 days. If you have time, try to go there and you'll see what violence space is doing. Among every space in Nigeria, I think the audience on violence space, we need to accord it more priority, please. We need to be very, very conscious of time and a whole lot of stuff, because a lot of us depend on, if you want to get a refuel inside your engine, you have to buy more petrol and put in. So violence space is like a jet fuel. If you want to be refueled into the obedient movement proper, so once in a while you just get to refuel, come around here, and then you don't even have any need to complain. I appreciate what you said before. This is no longer time to complain. We know the Nigerian problem didn't start with us. It didn't start today. It started more than 100 years ago. where there was a complete collusion between these bastards who ganged up and gave us what is fake. And all of us are angry because now we are becoming more outspoken. There is a lot of knowledge that we can see and that we can research, that we can go through and get some more and more information. That's why you see there's a lot of revelation coming up. There is a lot of hypocrisy, and it is so annoying. Most times we will say the census figures and the INEC figures, all these things they are all scam. A lot of scam have gone into this Nigerian project for the past hundreds of years. But thank God, I am so happy that I'm part of this generation who is saying enough is enough. Quickly, let me just, we are talking about solutions, and then I just want us to know that one of the biggest solutions in our history, I would rather have wanted Tinubu to be on this ballot. I want a situation whereby it will be a silence to the system through ballot-based revolution, like Prof always say. But it will be very, very unfortunate because I contacted most of my friend lawyers, independent lawyers in Abuja, and before Monday or Tuesday, because you see what David is doing. What David is doing is, it's a single man project, but believe me, what he did this morning, it was around 3 a.m. Nigerian time, where he was able to get us that copy, certified copy, showing that certificate Tinubu is using is forged, is pure. Every other thing about Tinubu, we can deny it. You cannot use it literally and go to court. But you see that one alone, very soon. So the lawyers they are already in hold of it. They have made a complete copy of it. They have gone to the High Court in Abuja already right now as we speak. So the High Court, they are trying to kind of bundle all of them together because of that copy that is made available through one man, David. So we always make sure we applaud David for what he's doing. But sincerely, I wanted Tinubu to be trashed on the ballot, but it is unfortunate it might not happen. There are things you can do, and you think you can hold the waters for long. But believe me, there is a length or a distance this APC as a people, they can no longer go forward. If you understand the body language of Buhari, Osibanjo, and most of their they have distanced themselves, silently from the Tinubu issue. If you really understand, if you follow what happened in Jos, you will see the mockery behind all of it, and all of them have distanced themselves. Everybody knows that Tinubu is a scam, complete scam, and that was why, if you know what happened during 1992, when there was a lot of information on IBB about allowing Abiola. I don't want us to go into it because they had a lot of knowledge about the drug-related issue, and they decided fast enough to see if they can be able to, stop the idea, but it was a little bit too late, and they cannot stop Abiola from pushing forward through democratic means of being a president. So this is exactly what is happening now. Tinubu cannot be our president, never. It will not even happen. Believe me, before the next 2 weeks, most of us will begin to understand. Yes, you see, I wrap up, please. Saddam, I don't know, that is another thing, Allow me to even get 2 or 3 of my topics, please, to land, please. See, so the INEC issue, what I'm trying to let us to understand is, for the past 4 months, Mahmoud Yakubu has had complete 5 petitions tabled before President Buhari so that he can be removed. They know what they are fighting for. But, at the time in history, somebody will stand as a symbol. Yakubu on his own, he cannot do much more than what he's doing. You see, there's a lot of holes that are planted before time by APC so that they can get this, child registrants from the north, from those areas whereby they never knew that will get hold of what is happening today. So, but what I will advise is, please, the big tent they did this match they did today in Abuja, Lagos, and most other states, we should follow it very, very closely, very, very closely. INEC on their own, they don't have an option. They're only looking like you see, they are helpless because there is less they can do. They are already because they allow themselves to be bought over long time ago. Right now, most of them are in the obedient movement, but they are helpless. There is nothing they can do more. That is why they are crying for, asking for our assistance. If we can be able to help them do the work they are supposed to do, but they cannot do that work they are supposed to do because they have been bought with money a long, long time ago. So it is left for us now. Let us cry out loud. Let us make the noise. Let us do the initiatives. And if it is possible, please, let us allow this 1 week, 2 weeks coming and see what is going to come up between the independent lawyers who are filing a lot of lawsuits against INEC, against the APC Tinubu issue. And we will see a lot of things that will come up. For now, I yield my mic. Thank you, because I saw your hand raised up, Saddam. Thank you so much for the
Thank
time.
you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, because it's please, you guys need to understand with us that in as much as we're having this discussion, we have a whole lot of people requesting for the mic. We have to pass the mic. So my DMs is blowing up. I'm having right now, guys. I told you guys something. We should be tweeting INEC is corrupt, and you can see that the noise that we are making has gotten to INEC. They just released a press release barely 20 something minutes ago, and someone have just posted it right now. There's a press release from INEC. INEC just update on the ongoing display of the voters register. I don't know if I should read the whole press release. It's kind of long, but in I'm just going to try and summarize it. They are just trying to let us understand that this is the first time ever that they, as an organization, are releasing the list of people pre-election for Nigerians to see and scrutinize themselves, blah 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 blah, vis-a-vis reporting it so that they can make the corrections and that they are up for credible elections. I tell you guys, the noise we make matters a whole lot. Please don't stop making this noise. For me, I think this is bullshit, because I don't see any reason why INEC cannot pay an auditing firm, bring an independent auditing firm. They cannot budget over 305 billion, and you cannot remove 100 billion, 1 billion inside it, or 5 billion, or 2 billion, or 500 million inside that money, and say, take this independent firm, audit this list for us. But it is still good that at least I believe somebody in INEC is trying to open the eyes of Nigerians to understand that this is where this guy, so this is where they want to rig the election from. And it is good we are making the noise. So guys, please, everybody on the space right now, I need you guys to go one more round, over 500 of you on the space. One more round of INEC is corrupt. Please tweet it out. Let us tweet it out. Let us get this stuff trending. Don't you forget, Deloitte Tinubu will be with us in the next few minutes. He's going to be with us in the building. Let people know that he's going to be here in probably the next 30 minutes. He's scheduled to be with us from 5 o'clock Nigerian time. So in the next, but he's going to be earlier. He's told me he's going to be here earlier than then. But in the next, by 5 o'clock, Deloitte will be live with us on the space here. So guys, please tweet INEC is corrupt. Schedule our space for Saturday is up on the Jumbotron. I will be operating that space with my official handle. I have my handle, my backup handle back. So I will be operating with that handle so that the attack on this handle can be less. I can take attacks on that handle, and if anything happens, it can fall off. But this one is our official handle. So please, if you're not following my other handle, do that. Our next spaces will be coming up from that handle. So if anything happens, we can have a fallback on this also. Back to our discussion here. Thank you, Tweet Doctor. Guys, if you're up here and you want to speak, please, your hands should be up. Let me bring you into the conversation. Ponty, you've been here long. Ponty, I hope your network is good for you to speak now. Please, Ponty, you have the space. Go on. Charlie Fountain. Ponty, are you there?
Yeah.
All right,
Can you give me just 1 second? I'm driving. Let me park my car, please. Thank you.
All right, let me take somebody else and you come after the person. All right, Prince George, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. I've been waiting for long. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I will make my points fast and clear. I've listened to almost every speaker. I've been here on the space for virtually 2 hours plus. I need to re-echo some sentiments. Yes, I've heard a lot of people speak, and in some cases, some of the speakers have actually, managed to raise concerns, but at the same time, managed to dampen spirits. The truth is that we will win this election by the fact that hope is alive. What these people were counting on before the beginning of this whole exercise is the usual Nigerian sentiment and the fact that people don't turn out to vote. Take it to the bank. What anybody who reads election counts on is the fact that you would be sitting at home or you will be playing football and election will go on, so they will do what they want. We need to get this into our heads as much as we are, dragging the agbados right, front, left, and center. We need to get this in our own mind that this election is ours to lose. There is something called rural-urban drift. Forget about this nonsense that politicians will come out and tell you the grassroots. Grassroots kill them there. Rural-urban drift happens in every country, but more so in countries that are impoverished because people leave the rural cities and move to the cities. It is happening. You know your people, your brothers and sisters who are leaving their villages and trooping out in mass into the towns of every single state capital of this country. Go to Ebonyi State, you see people in Abakaliki. You just name every particular state, you will see that the majority of people are situated in the cities. So when people want to pull a hoodwink all over our eyes, and we want to re-echo their sentiment that election will be won and lost in the grassroots, it makes me wonder, like, are we going mad? We see. First of all, they started with you don't have structures and all that, and then you threaten them with coming out for rallies that are, not sponsored. They really piss themselves. I'm going to share an information here, which I've not shared in many places. My elder sister is a makeup artist, a big makeup artist at that, but I'm not going to call her name. She's done work for the likes of Jonathan's wife, Wike's wife, and the rest of them. And she's had the opportunity of, having a conversation where this criminal's wife, they were trying to organize the photo section just recently, was now asking her, you never call me to congratulate us now for our presidential day. My sister responded, mommy, no problem. Our prayers are with you. As in, she asked her, like, or are you don't want us to win? My sister, like, our prayers are with you. So inside my sister, as she was saying that, she was praying like, we are not going to win. Our prayers, you don't know the kind of prayer where we pray for you. Now, this is what the wife of this drug dealer said. She said, our problem is all this obedience and all that. And she's not the only one that re-echoed it. A few weeks ago, my sister had the opportunity of doing another makeup for the wife of Okowa. And this was what he said. And this was what she said. She re-echoed that same thing. Now, this obedience, we don't know their problem. So I'm telling you a verified information from someone who is just an elder sister. She's just one person to me. So I'm not saying someone said. So if you think that the wives of these people who are very close to them are worried to the extent of complaining to somebody bitterly, and you are here acting like, thank you, my dear, and you are here acting like you are not pressing their neck, then you are mad. That means you don't even understand what you are doing. If you understand what you are doing, it's like the same thing in boxing. If you understand that your left hook is working or your jab is working, you keep on applying that jab. We have these people where we want them, get out in mass and vote the hell. Like, if people look at the last Anambra election, only 10% of voters came out, 10%. Anybody can win that election if the other 80% just turn up, no matter how you want to read that election. And that's one thing we need to re-echo here. As much as we go out there to do all this, press INEC, Guy, get out, let us vote. The day we go for this voting, I go carry my bag, my bread will be there, my tea will be there, my what, everything for staying there for 2 days go dey there. Because you see this election, we go there when it starts, now we go pack the chair at the end of the day. There's something called crowd mentality. Crowd mentality makes a people ready to die, ready to give everything when you properly psych them up to do what they intend to do. Let's not come here and demoralize people. Let people know that this election can be won. We are leading all the polls, not just the polls, forget even the ANA polls and every other polls. But if you think that those polls are not credible, okay, fine. ANA poll have had a credibility since 2011 till now. All their polls have been right. This time around, go on YouTube, choose any poll you want. You will see the polls, and there is something consistent. Peter B is the only candidate that is getting votes in even places. He doesn't come last. He always comes first or second. And when he comes second, the other vote, the one I saw recently in Ibafo, it was neck and neck between him and Tinubu. And most of the ones I see in Southwest, he's actually even leading Tinubu in some places. So let's not dampen our spirit. We echo this thing. One final thing before I pass. You see this name, this VIN number. Make nobody joke with us. That VIN number is just used when they copy it. It's just an intimidation tactics. Let everybody know. When they copy it, they make you believe that when you vote for somebody, we don't know who you vote. It's a lie. It's a big lie. Just like Saddam said, if you go to the website of INEC, you see all the VIN numbers. If they wanted to win the election with VIN numbers, they'll copy all of them. It's there. So you see that thing where they intimidate market women and all that, collect their VIN number. It is just an intimidation tactics. Let people know that. Thank you. I yield the mic.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Honestly, please, messaging is very, very important going forward. I know how depressing INEC stuff has been to a whole lot of us and the rest, but remember, there is power in our numbers. Election is 70% psychological and 30% groundwork. We have to win first in the mind. Believe you have won in the mind, then you cannot translate it down to the voting, to the polling units. All right, Ponty, you have the space, please. 4 minutes, please, and I come to you, my brother, never best. Go on.
Thank you, my brother Saddam. I salute you, man. Omar, I greet you. You guys are doing a great job, man. I just wanted to quickly appreciate everybody for all the hard work, all the grinding you guys have been doing, man. It's getting to them, and I think we've already won the election. The rest of it is just a process. Yeah. And also, I wanted to refocus our attention on the fact that only about, was it 12 million new registered voters? That's what we had. That's like 12 million. That's not enough compared to like 80 million people, registered voters, that we supposedly have. As of 2019, we had like 80 million voters, and out of that 80 million, only 35 million people showed up. Out of that 35 million, Buhari won with 15. Even with all the Almajiri boys that they used to try and rig the whole thing, he could only get 15 million. Guys, there's like what, 40, at least 40 million people out there who supposedly have their PVCs, who did not come out to vote. Please, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I should believe we have 40 million undecided voters out there. And that 35 million, APC is not going to get 15 million again. PDP is not going to get 11 million like they had the last time. Peter Obi is going to snatch votes from each and every one of them. At least 10 million, hopefully. You get me? So I think we shouldn't be focusing more on those new registers, man. We have old registers. People already have their PVCs. You understand me? Those are the people that we should be praying that they come out to vote that day. Because regardless of all their rigging, like I said, with all the fake registrations that they had, Buhari only had 15 million. But guys, there's like 40 million people out there that needs to turn up and vote for Peter Obi. So regardless of all the dancing around INEC is doing, is hope all hopes are not lost. In fact, nobody should be feeling down because we have people. There are lots and lots of people who are in these camps who are not saying anything. There are lots of undecided people who are just waiting for that day to go and vote. In my where I stay in Lagos, yeah, in satellite town, it's like dominated by APC people. And I have family members, I have relatives around. You understand me? They don't say anything, they don't campaign because they're all afraid if they campaign, they might get maimed, if somebody can't drive them, all that kind of stuff. You understand me? But they know who they're going to vote for, and at the end of the day, they intend to turn up and vote. So I just wanted to use this opportunity to encourage everybody that regardless of all these stunts that INEC and Agbado people are pulling, yeah, we still have the advantage, man. We have like lots and lots of people who do not want to see APC rule again, and lots of people who are tired of PDP. You understand me, guys? So let's keep the good work, man. Let's not give up. Let's whatever it is they throw at us, just know that we have the numbers, man. And yet, I agree with Sada when he keeps saying the numbers is going to be everything, bro. Numbers are everything. You understand me? If we can outnumber them, there is no how they're going to rig us out of that victory. You understand? And I just wanted to also put this thought out there that Atiku is probably aware of how rigging is done. And Peter Obi ran by his side in 2019. So I'm thinking Peter Obi should also have a great idea of how this whole rigging thing is done. You understand me? Because he doesn't seem to be moved by all these shenanigans that they keep coming up with. Because he, I think, is also counting on the people, like he has always said. Anyway, that's it for me, man. I'm not gonna hug the mic. Guys, keep up the good work, man. Keep doing all you do, man. God bless everybody. Thanks.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. For me, it's not. You cannot tell the man's what the man is passing through right now. You cannot say it by that. He's been aware. I don't even think right now he's banking on Nigerians to come out and do what we have to do as a people. You cannot, if you're depending on rigging is one template that we have used in Nigeria for a very long period of time. So Peter is not going to be depending on people that we can rig. He's depending on we Nigerians that understand how bad Nigeria have been governed for the past couple of years. We that are looking for a good system, a new Nigeria, we coming out in our numbers. I keep saying it, there is no amount of child voting that's on that list that can outnumber real Nigerians with their PVCs. There is no amount of child voting. And I say this because I said this earlier on, I say in my polling units now, I did it on my polling unit with my men. Then I come and see some underage voters coming there to vote. Wait till we go do those children, they will not live to remember it. They will not live to, plus the person will carry them come, plus the person will come carry money to share. We have to be active citizens going forward. Understand that you must man your polling unit and own your polling unit. No fucking person should come to your polling unit to share money. When will not be meant for there? Beat them, collect the money, hand them over to the police. What the fuck are we doing in our country? We must own this narrative as a people. Buhari, I think Buhari even said it that if election leaders should be shot dead. He said they should shoot them. He said this last election. One of us said you shoot them. If you see person come say he won't carry underage voters, you go there, they look them. That is when you come in as a citizen. You're not waiting for come on Twitter. Peter, I'm seeing Labour Party. What are you doing? Labour Party, what do you do? See young voters, so see upcoming voters, see election riggers. You own the narrative, and when you're done, you come out and tell people what you did. I saw somebody reached out to me. It's a company, and I think I'm going to talk to them going forward into the elections. They say that they're selling cameras. That they have a camera that works for 3 days straight. That could be, I don't know if it's planted in the body or something. That will be transmitted live. Could be transmitted live across the world. I think we're going to have that partnership and see how far we can get those cameras to as much as plenty as we can and to so many people, because these elections, You are not going to wait for police. You're not going to wait for labor. You're not going to wait for Peter. It is your duty as an active citizen, as a Nigerian, to stand up and be counted going forward. Thank you. Let me bring in my uncle here, Uncle Gui. Relevant best, please come in. Then I'll come to Guillermo.
Well, Saddam, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're spacing from. It's been a long time that I've not been on this space. So I've been writing exams like Saddam I've actually noted, and I've said to those who have been saying they've not actually seen me on spaces, my brothers and sisters, it's not been easy for me. This country is a mad place, it's a crime scene, and it's not even easy to survive in this country. If not, I've started this school, I would have just dropped, because I've even discussed I want to just even leave all this madness. But some people have just said, I should, since I've started, I should just, because there's no other program in this country now that is even worth doing except this movement that all of us are into. I think it's the greatest program, is the greatest education that anyone can actually hope for. So every other thing just pass into insignificance. But we started this thing, we just want to just give it the time it truly deserves. So I've been writing exam, and as we resumed, there was no time even to teach us the remaining courses that we needed to take. So they just came and say, oh, exam. So we just have to read on ourselves, and right now we are just writing exam. I just wrote one not quite long, and I'll be writing one next week. So when I'm done with that one, I think I'll be fully on ground to do the work we've been doing. So I want to say to all those ones who have been holding the ground, who have been here, I say thank you so much for holding forth for every one of us. Anka Dede, Saddam, Omar, N6, Rosemary, Ajay, Sevik, Obasi, all of you guys are great. Let me also begin to say that the truth about the matter is that APC has never won election before. I said this thing before. People think I'm joking. APC did not win election in 2015. I know it's not a popular belief. A lot of people don't believe in it. In 2019, it was obvious that they did not win election. So they've not won election before. What they have done is to rig election. In 2015, they made so much noise and talked about this change. Nigerians believe that somehow, people voted for them. So it was because of their propaganda and lies, and because it was an incumbent government and Jonathan was there, they rigged him out. So there is no way anybody could just say, oh. But some of us who were carefully following that election knew that somehow they did not win. But in 2019, it was obvious, because when they won, Nigeria was like a graveyard. So everybody was in pain that this government came into place. So if anybody is thinking that Nigerians somehow is going to come out in 2023, after all this punishment, after all this witchcraft, after all this wickedness that these guys have displayed, and Nigeria are going to vote for them again, that person should perish that idea. What APC is actually looking for now is to see how they can rig this election. And that's why they are running up and down trying to see what they can do. That's why they came up with Muslim PK. They've been, coming with all kind of concussions to see how they can win this election, but they are not going to win. And the only way, like Saddam have noted, and every other person here have said, is that for us to be steadfast and continue what we are doing, we should not give them an inch. We should come out in mass, no matter what their rigging method is going to be. If all of us are going to come out on election day, my brothers and sisters, they are not going to win. Remember, because we continue talking about PVC. While it's important for people who have registered to go and collect their PVC, I also want you to know that there are Nigerians, millions of Nigerians who has PVC but have not voted before, and the reason is because they've always said their vote will not count, and they've always said, who are they even voting for? Because in every election we are presented with bad people, and at the end of the day, Nigerians have to look left and right and say, let us choose the lesser evil. And some of these people who have not voted but who has voter card before this time is going to vote in this election, and make no mistake about it, they are going to vote in this election because there is hope and there's a light in the tunnel. There is, I've always said that what inspires a nation is hope. One of the ingredients, one of the intangible assets that actually inspires a nation is hope. When there is no hope in a nation, that nation is bound to die. What is motivating all of us in this election is the hope that P2B and Ahmed Dati campaign has actually inspired. It is that hope that is actually going to push us. It's that hope that makes us wake up every morning and be in this movement. It is that hope that is making us believe that for once Nigeria can be better. It is that hope that is making people to sacrifice, to put in their last couple. It is that hope. I was talking with Otumba one day, and I was sharing some of my concern for him, and he said, I know that some of these monies I've given out, that some people have just taken it, I know that some people who even I give money, I know that they don't do the job. But the truth about the matter is that if you continue to be skeptical and say, oh, you're not going to do the job. Some people there are a lot of people who are going to be on this platform. He's in this movement just to make sure that, they take money or they steal money from people, they cajole people. The matter, there's also a whole lot of people in this platform who are doing this job. It's just like the story of the tie and the wheat, and the Bible says going to actually know the good one and the bad one. Why not leave the harvest when the harvest is ripe? The bad ones to be shift and the good ones to be taken. So, like what Otumba said, people are making this sacrifice irrespective of the fact that they know that some people are in this, for their own personal gain. But people are still, there's something that is making people make that kind of sacrifice, take that kind of risk, because they know there is hope. Because if we get what we want in 2023, every other thing would not matter again. Whatever pain, whatever sacrifice, whatever sleepless night we have, it will not matter again. So what matters is this movement that we are into. And that's why every morning, even when I don't come to spaces, all this what I've been trying to do, because most times I was telling somebody that day that most times, maybe if I go to exam, I'll just be writing P2B, and I don't think that would be funny again. So the truth about the matter is that I say witchcraft, because even some of these lecturers who we are paid half salary, some of them are still saying, oh, we want to vote for Tinubu. You can imagine, like, you have to imagine that kind of madness to know where we are in this country. That the reason why Nigeria is like this is it's not so much about a Tinubu who is almost dying, who does not know what time is saying, who cannot put his thought together, wants to rule Nigeria. It's also because people who are similarly educated actually are propelling these people and want to vote them into office. And those are the people who have to come again. So why we talk about Tinubu, why we say this man cannot rule us, why we are saying that this man is not fit to be in this, let us also remember those who are actually pushing them. I don't want to talk about Soludo because his own is casted. That guy, remember this man in 2015, what he said about Jonathan's government and Okonjo-Iweala, of all people. That guy is an APC agent, and he has started again. He's the person is one of the people who brought this government upon us. And today he sees somebody who is actually coming to rescue Nigeria and is trying to see how he can now imagine the kind of problem we are facing in this country. The people you think that will survey this country, those are the people who are digging the hole for this country to fall into. And it's just unfortunate. We are happy that we are a generation who want to change this country. Let me say, there's something I've always said. I said, if this mission fail, if this movement fail, I'm going to sell my kidney and leave this country. And I was discussing it with a doctor friend the other day, and he said, Kennedy, who is going to buy your kidney? Perhaps you way past the age that people want to buy people's kidney like 18 years or 20 years. You can see even that second route I want to take is not even going to work. So the only plot I have in this election is to make sure that this movement succeeds. So this movement has to survive. I know there is no time I'm going to be here, but I just want to end by saying this. It's a want of men who will not be bought or sold, men who in their innermost soul are true and honest, men who do not fear to call sin by its right name, men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole, men who will stand for the right thing though the heavens fall. So the greatest want of the world today are men who will stand for righteousness, men who will stand for what is good, men who, whatever, despite the circumstances, will say, this is the man we are going to vote in this election, and this is the righteous that this country has actually craved for. Men who will not be bought or sold, because in this election, a lot of people are going to be coming. I have a friend, who before this time, he tells me, because in school you have these people, these ideological based people who say they are leftists, these Karl people who preach socialism and not the rest of them. And over the years we've been in this school, this guy have always talked about Karl, how he's preaching for socialism and not the rest of them. But in this election, I saw him the other day, he was telling me he wants to go to Lagos. They are forming Christian youth movement for Bola Ahmed, for Bat. I called him and said, you're no longer doing Karl. You see how the mighty has fallen. Where is the ideology? Today you're pretending that you're forming Christian youth, because that is what is going on now. They are trying, they have failed in every aspect of this election. And now, because they have disappointed the Christian community, they are now trying to form some fraudulent organization that call themselves Christian Youth for Tinubu to present themselves. Because in the coming days and weeks and months, perhaps you'll be seeing some people that will be coming on TV to tell you that, we are the Christian Youth in Nigeria. These people do not know where church is. These people are not Christian. They've not read Bible before. But because this campaign, this party that is called APC, this evil organization, this gangsters, this criminal enterprise called, they will do everything fraudulent to present to Nigerian people they are good. But we know where they are coming from. We know that these people are criminal. We know that they are the worst that has happened to this country. This country has been, falling all these years. But Nigeria have never seen a gang up like this. We have never seen it before. And we cannot allow these people to manifest. We will kill them before they even rise up, because the Bible says, suffer not the witch to live. They will not allow them. And the only way we cannot allow them is to wake up every morning and be on this space. On the Twitter space, we are going to be there. On the streets, we are going to be there. In our office, we are going to be there. We are going to talk to, who are you voting? Because for me, if you tell me you don't have PVC, my brother, you're part of the problem in this country. If you tell me you're not voting, you're voting Ahmed Tinubu, my dear, you're a witchcraft. We have to tell them this. We have to continue to preach this gospel. This is the only work that is worth anything. This is the only movement that is worth anything. This is the only religion that will take you to heaven. I rest my case.
My brother, thank you very much. Thank you. As much as I just tend to laugh most times due to some analogies you use when you're speaking here. But thank you very much. You just drove the whole point. Mute, please. Thank you, bro. This is the only religion that will take you to heaven. This is the passport. This is your passport away from bad governance. This is your passport away to that's this japa. I tell you, if you throw a poll right now, forget how we are, many of us in the Western world, by the grace of God, are living and the rest. I can bet that a poll in a sane Nigeria, a Nigeria free from terrorism, banditry, poverty, in Nigeria, that what we are seeing over here, basic amenities. I'm not even asking for much, just basic amenities, good roads, 24 hours light, security, law of order, good governance, just basic amenities. I am certain that the over 20 million Nigerians that are in diaspora, that 18 million of them will come back home. I am certain of that. I've met Nigerians. We love our country. We are just tired of bad governance. We can do better as a people, and that's what we call you guys every day on this our platform, to please go out there, preach the gospel of Peter, talk to people, mobilize people, galvanize people. If people around you don't know that you're supporting Peter, then you are the problem. If your family members don't know that you're supporting Peter, you are a problem. If your WhatsApp group don't know you're supporting, if your WhatsApp status, people don't know you're a Peter supporter, you're a problem to this movement. It's not to come in on Twitter and this thing. If you're not making people check themselves about this movement, if you're not getting if your circle of friends are not talking about Peter, you have not convinced them, you have not opened their eyes, you're part of our problem. Get to work, my people. There is no how we should be having a party in these coming elections. There's no how we should hear people say, I don't go vote. They are all the same. In these coming elections, everything is there. You have all the... Peter is like the easiest course any student can take in a university. Everything you need is there for you on the internet. We do a whole lot of hard work on this space every day, coming up with facts and figures, showing you guys the criminals that want to take over your country. That we will say, Buhari, thank you if you make a mistake. We will thank Buhari. Let me bring in Mr. Oguyemi. Mr. Oguyemi, good evening, sir. You have the space, sir. Then I'll come to you, Jenny. If you're up on the space and you want to speak, please, your hand should be up. If not, I'll have to drop you for other people that are down there requesting for the mic. And guys, please, in the next, I want you guys to make up your submissions as brief as possible, because in the next 15 minutes, Dele Farosimi will be here with us on the space, and I will want everybody that's up here to speak before he comes, so that we can have that interaction with him the next 15 minutes. Uncle Oguyemi, you have the space, sir. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, Saddam. Welcome, Omar. Never best, and everyone there. Otumba, Aboki. Aboki, I've not forgotten you. I came to Nigeria and
I was down. I was down. The system. I didn't know that immediately I came in, my immune system went down. But I'm just coming up. I want to thank you for what you've been doing. Sometimes I've been struggling to listen. I'm having problem with the internet. It's not been frequent. But I just want to say something. Thank you, Saddam, for checking on me. I saw those your tweets. Thank you very much. I've been trying to take care of myself. But I've been having conversation with people all over. People who, maybe sometime when I go into Uber, I find out that I try to raise a conversation to see what's going on. I find out that majority of the younger people are the ones supporting Obi. And then the older people, whether educated or uneducated, they still believe in those propaganda and then conspiracy theory. Like somebody was telling me that, are you aware that Tinubu is convicted for, not convicted, was having a drug issues in America? Is a lie. That's propaganda. And I just said, do you know me now? Something is docketed. And these are elites, these are educated people. So it's one of the things I want us to continue to do is to see how we need to, with all they've been doing, have done, I find out to still believe they're lying against him. It's what some of those
Uncle Guyemi, we're having problem with your network.
Are you listening to me now? I've tried to do like a little research or survey around people. I find that most of the younger people in Lagos here that have interaction with or have interface with or have conversation with, many of them are younger people who want to vote against the establishment, middle-aged people want to vote against the establishment, but most of the younger people are following Peter Obi, especially most younger elite educated who can read, who know things going on. Also, we have this educated elderly Yoruba people who believes that all they are saying is a lie against him. Sometimes they believe that, it's not true. And I said, do you know the meaning of when something is docketed? Yes, he was stood in front of the judge that he committed this crime. And people never believe that. Two, I also have this group of people who are bigots, who just don't like the Igbo people. Because Peter is Igbo, that's why they just say he's Igbo because he's Igbo. Yeah, and most of these people are Yorubas. And I felt so disgusted that with all we've done, I still have some set of people who could not think straight with level of education, exposure, academic accolades. From there, I now concluded that educations and academic accolades achievement does not make somebody to have sense. People love the way things are because some of the educated elite, they eat crumbs from the establishment and the way things are. But the younger people are the ones suffering it. And some of the educated elite felt that as long as they can sort their children out. And that's it. So what I want us to do more in this, which I'm doing, is I've entered a lot of argument with people, family members, some of them hate me, but I'm trying to see things. With all this knowledge, academic achievement, you cannot read or I don't understand, or because your mind is blank because of hatred for a particular race. That's one of the worries I have as a moment. But with the younger people, especially the Yoruba younger people, prefer Peter Obi. They want Badewo Uzabo in Lagos. They want to do on Sonolu. Another thing I've done is that I find out that the Lagos state government have chained a lot of when by chain, they've tied down a lot of Lagos civil service, make them to join APC and forcing them to be campaigning for them. So we need to also work on those ones so that the majority of them need to see the light. because many people still believe that is a lie. I have somebody who have told me that he has done it before now, but it's not doing it again. And I told the person, do you know the meaning of somebody who have been a drug baron before? Do you know the meaning? To many of them, they don't understand. I found out that the literacy level of Nigeria is very, very high. People think having degrees or education makes them better